Well, I thought we were going, but
Yeah, sorry, I just my network connection just fell through the floor.
how do I recover this? You're there, you're there. There. Okay, here we go. Well, yeah, unlike James, maybe I won't edit out messing up the intro of one of the shows. Welcome to Generic Fantasy Adventure, a D&D 5e show. This is season 2, episode 4. Welcome back, our returning cast members. Heroes is a questionable word. Adventurers is also pretty questionable. Let's call them destined and fortuned, dragon blessed, certainly. Lords and
We are
ladies,
not murder
perhaps.
hobos because we have a permanent
You have a
residence.
permanent residence, yes. Let me
Former murder
say,
hobos.
Yeah.
last week I may have insulted James by calling out his Twitch sub to some extent, and I've been trying to figure out how to either apologize or get a petty revenge, so I decided I would do both at once. Let me say, James, someone has to do the recap this episode, and what can I say? I'm smelling toast right now.
What did we do last episode? We got out of the weird. Well, sorry, we finished up in the underground dungeon. We saw a vision of Lake Blazewing. We decided what we were going to enhance our keep with, and we decided to go to town for a shopping episode where we met what was the group called again? I haven't got your notes open. Sorry, Neo Buzzard.
Which
The
group?
speakers, the ones that the group went to for magic items.
The Unspoken.
The
Yes.
Unspoken. That's it.
He's not.
There we
It's
go.
not a group. It's a single person.
It's okay. So
The Unspoken is the
misinterpreted.
name of a warlock.
Ah, okay. I thought he was part of a faction called the Unspoken.
No, the other Smiths don't like him because he's a weird, super privileged magic user. I'm gonna also link the Dwarven Gods real quick because I wasn't prepared for our cleric to go forge so quickly. I didn't realize that was happening. We already mentioned the name of the leader of the Dwarven Gods, Doraemon Dwavi, and then there are 6 others. Bjorman Stoneface, the Forge Master, who is your patron now. It should be noted that many of these gods have multiple domains, but you worship him, or at least acknowledge him through the Forge. Frodem Depth Delver, the Mountain King. Alfheim Elf Killer, the Waste Layer. Erika Hillstrider, the Sunfacer. Miasia, the Knowing. And Dur.
Sure.
Dur. Yes.
I realized I missed a great opportunity here, Arthur. I should have, when you asked me to recap, done like a season 1 style recap with just words.
You were ready for that, though. You didn't just have a list of words.
Made them completely irrelevant to the actual last game, though.
Oh, of course, yeah. Just say
beaver,
words. You
socks,
did miss an opportunity.
Sunrise, wetsuit,
The keywords from Avengers to activate the Winter Soldier. 17 rusting. Yeah, James, what can I say about you? Hold on. I wrote down a little thing about James. Of course, he's a big subscriber, big supporter of the channel. And then I had a small speech prepared here, but apparently I may have deleted it by accident. My God, what am I doing with my life?
Arthur, can I ask? Am I the first person to patronize you at a level to get a game group together, and then end up running that game group for you?
I don't
Yes.
think patronize is the right word.
You're not just the first, you're the only. What can I say about James? He's the best star pilot in the galaxy, a cunning warrior, and a good friend.
This is just a tribute. You gotta believe.
Well, okay. I don't know what's happening with my email box right now. I'm just going to go ahead and get started with the show.
Yeah, good idea.
Fooling around with all my stuff. You are in the kingdom of Zenavir, which is a half-orc and human kingdom, the southernmost spear of the empire. You have specifically gone to the fortress trade city of Orish Ban, where you met Korik, your guide, who led you to various locations around the city, including I want to say a tea house, but that's not correct. A bathhouse, which we're about to cut to shortly. To his mother, sister, who is an innkeeper, Mistress Navish, and to the Unspoken, who will spend the next 10 days forging a certain item, and then the next 3 days forging another magic item for Sparky specifically. And there was a concern that after those 13 days, you'd like to forge another magic item. So we'll see how that goes down.
There was also a concern that we paid for 10 days and we're going to be here 13. So
well, you can always pay for more, but the innkeepers get mad.
But what if they're already booked ahead though? Like, what if they've got there's like a convention in town and those days aren't available in our hotel?
You can certainly ask Mistress Navish when you get there.
I don't think it's convention season. I think we're fine.
Throw yourself upon the mercy of her leniency. So as it is, you are 12 of 75 days into the finishing of your keep, and should you invest more money in it, the finishing... Sorry, I said keep. I think you've paid the money into the Dragon Hold, but you haven't paid all the money into the keep.
Yeah.
Should you get back and pay in the money for the materials, the keep will also be finished in 63 days. Dragon Hold will definitely be finished in 63 days. And at that time, champions and armies may be summoned to your cause as a result.
That's assuming people doesn't become insolvent, though, as well. That's a big problem right now.
I believe we have 2,000 left to pay off the keep.
We've got 2,000 towards the keep.
You've paid 2,000. You need another 3,000.
Yeah. But didn't I put 1,000 towards it from when I found the gold on that chair from last time in the dungeon?
If you did, I didn't mark it down, and I will do so now.
I did indeed.
So you're now at 3,000 out of 5,000.
I want to mention, so she get the benefit.
Sorry.
Well, Tanira had the punishment, so she should reap the benefit.
Feel the same way, James.
We start at the bathhouse. You are finishing up bathing here. You have met many strong endurance athletes here. None of them appear to be soldiers. They appear to mostly be common folk with a proclivity for both bathing and working out. Many of them
CrossFits in this town.
Yeah, not a lot of humans in this particular bathhouse, but orcs and half orcs who are very comfortable with you have all invited you to come to their place of fitness, which is what they call it. You arrive through the southern gate. Apparently, before the northern gate, there's something like a combination park civic service area where people like work out, kind of LA style. Just a bunch of people work out in a flat concrete area together.
Park.
Yeah. Like people just like invite other people, get groups together, let people come over, and they just work out together. So you've been invited to that if you want to.
I definitely want to.
Our group who visited the Unspoken, the Warlock, the lizard man-ish. He was so covered it's really hard to tell. The rather unusual standoffish Warlock, the Unspoken. Your two groups meet back at Mistress Navish's Inn, which is just called Navish's Inn. Korek, your guide, is there. He is playing the flute. It's sort of a haunting melody of the plains north of Orishban. Traditional elven song, very Mongolian sort of non-metal version of The Who. That's the Star Wars The Who, not the Doctor.
Yeah.
What do you all want to do now that you're all back together?
Join in, obviously.
Oh, of course. Please make a performance check.
Yes.
You know what, Bearded, why don't you just go ahead and make an Arcana check while we're at it?
Let's go.
I'm gonna go to Navish and ask her if she needs any help in the kitchen.
There we go, 22.
Despite maybe not having heard this particular tune before, or maybe not even hearing traditional orcish music in general, specifically the music of Zeniver, you pick up the melody. I mean, it's not like it's particularly complex, right? It's just one guy on a flute, but you managed to pick it up, and you know, you're freestyle jamming it. Maybe it's not authentic, but it's good, and none of the locals here seem to mind. Tanira, with your Arcana check, you know that Korek is not a bard, but he has access to some measure of bardic magic through whatever rogue bard, non-adventuring civilian class that he has. So he can give people bardic inspiration through his music, and he is doing so. He's giving bardic inspiration to Guineria for a d6.
Boom.
So I should roll a d6? Is that what you're saying?
You can use it anytime in like the next 24 hours, I believe. I mean, you're a bard.
Okay.
You tell me how it works.
I insist everyone you no, yeah, you could give the bardic inspiration and you can hold on to it for a while. So
No, he is giving you bardic inspiration.
I know.
Okay.
Weird though. I don't need bardic
Okay.
inspiration.
Listen,
I
she's
am
usually the
bardic
giver,
inspiration.
not the receiver, so she's a little thrown off right now.
Yeah, I
Yes.
understand. Korek is the ultimate support character, though. He's here to make sure that you continue to pay him large sums of money. That said, everyone can also take real inspiration for an advantage reroll.
I'm still inspired from last time.
I still haven't used my 1 of 1 inspiration.
Well, that's
That's
it.
a D&D.
That is the one of one. So
Oh,
I
even
just-
like the
I was-
original one?
Yeah, I'm just refreshing it.
Okay.
And the bardic inspiration is 10 minutes.
Okay. For some reason,
Yeah.
I thought it lasted longer.
Should
But
have used it.
yeah, you wanted to see if Mistress Navish needed any help in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I think she gives you a look over and she sees that you literally have 2 different keywords pouches of seasonings, and just makes the assumption that a man who would go out of his way to purchase 2 such pouches is either very good or very bad at cooking, and will allow you to do some onion chopping first just to make sure that you know your way around the kitchen. Should you be successful, she will allow you to sous chef a wild herb soup that she's putting together.
He could just put 20 pinches of salt into everything.
Jesus, please don't.
Roll
My
that
doctor
natural
is
20
calling me
for
right
my
now.
face.
Right. All right. So you want me to make a roll for this?
Use your
No,
bardic
you don't need to
inspiration.
roll at all. Listen,
Okay.
you are proficient with chef's tools. Sorry, that's a Star Trek Odyssey reference. You're proficient with chef's utensils. You literally have the chef feat. You don't need a roll to prove anything to her. I'm just saying that she checks you when you get in the door, make sure that you are who you say you are, and then will allow you to assist her. It's her kitchen. She would never let you run the kitchen. That would not be the way here in Orishban. But she will gladly allow a guest to take some of her labor off the hands.
You're literally dual wielding spice pouches right now. You're just like,
Just
Exactly.
once. I want to see Godric go into someone's kitchen and turn Gordon Ramsay on them.
But what if it was a kid's kitchen and then he's just like, it's beautiful. Everything you've done is
Everything, yeah.
perfectly correct.
I just want to see
exactly.
him put 2 slices of bread between somebody's head.
So Bearded, I sent you Dragon Stew. They have a magic item on it called Gordon Ram's Spear. And it insults people who are cooking bad, but it also specifically grants advantage to children who are cooking in the radius around it. Everyone knows Gordon Ramsay loves kids. Everybody knows it.
Everybody.
He has enough of them.
As you all are settling in here and the evening crowd begins coming in, expecting this wild herb stew, it will be thick, rich, and hearty with wild garlic, wild onions, tomatoes, potatoes, and apparently a whole lot of seasonings that may not be local, but will almost certainly grant them a flavor out of this world. There are several topics of discussion going down. Almost everybody is speaking common, but there are some conversations in Orcish which I don't know that anyone speaks.
Negative.
Okay, then the conversations you pick up on are about complaining about the imperial currency change. A lot of people are worried that because they're a trade town, the lack of real metal gold is going to cause them a lot of problems with outsiders, and they're hoping that the governors, and they say governors is plural, will be able to convince the emperor to give them special dispensation, if not in the kingdom, then at least in Orishban. There is a question of several townsfolk who went out recently on some sort of mission and did not return. Like, they took a job at the mercenary guild and then have never returned. It's been long enough now that people are basically just like whispering they're dead. Another topic of conversation is rumors that dragons have been spotted several days south, like a week and a half south. Like, armies are gathering there. Dragons have been spotted. People are worried that the dragon blight of the east is now made its way south and is preparing to attack Orishban, which hasn't seen dragons in about 350 years.
And this is too far away from our lands to be the spirit of the green dragon spooking people again.
It is absolutely your own lands. Your lands are about 10 days away, which is about how far away they think that these armies and dragons are coming from.
Okay.
Just rumors of a phantom menace in the south. There are other conversations in Orcish, and there is a mysterious cloaked figure smoking a pipe by the fire at the far end of the room.
Striker.
I don't know if you want to have conversations with each other, listen in, get involved, or just have dinner and let all of this news wash past you.
Well, I definitely want to have dinner and drinks.
Yeah. We've got a few days here, over a week here, and when we're done, I mean, we can return back to the keep, but short of waiting for the construction to be finished, there's not a lot more for us to really do there, except, maybe move around furniture, etc. Should we look for opportunities to make some extra coin, or script for that matter, to work on the other parts of the keep? I mean, it sounds like there's a mercenaries guild here.
Yeah, I mean, not only extra coin, but like, having a good relationship with this town, since we are really close to it, might not be a bad idea if something pops up.
Like, at some point, we're going to tell somebody in charge that we are from where we're from, and what that means, like, to relay their concerns about dragons and the like.
Yeah, mercenary guild might not be a bad idea.
Finding lost people, or at least recovering their bodies, is a service for the town. I would say we should do something like that. Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, I only had one other thing I was looking to buy in town, which I'll have to speak with our noble guide about whether someone I could easily acquire or not. But then, shall we in the morning have a talk, or go to see the Mercenaries Guild and just find out what's going on in the area?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
So the group that disappeared, so they were on a mission for the Mercenaries Guild, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's the rumor.
You
can go over and ask if you want.
Yeah. I kind of want to know kind of what their situation was as far as what their task was.
Okay.
I think the group that's talking about the disappearing mercenaries, I think I'm going to get some extra bowls of the soup or stew, and I'm going to meander my way over to their table.
I love how you've basically appointed yourself a employee of this location.
He's good at what he does.
Shit, yeah. In respect of the work you've done for her, she'll let you take 3 extra bowls of soup over for the 2 people talking and 1 for yourself, without question. Just give you a little glance, like, this is unusual. Could have said something ahead of time, but you did the work.
But when you top off their drinks and collect a tip, though, she starts to worry.
Yeah.
No, I think
he's common law working here now.
I think during the cooking, the cooking process, I've told her if she needs any help in the kitchen to just shout my name, and I'll help her if I'm nearby.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to be grateful to our host. But anyway, I want to sit down with these guys and just ask about
Is this
if there's any more details or any more information they have on the people that
after
were
you're
missing.
done cooking for everybody?
Yeah.
If you'll allow, I'm going to bring a couple ales over, 1 for me and 1 for Godric.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So before you 2 are sitting down with the 2 of them,
Yeah, sounds good.
it's an orcish man and a half orcish woman. He is like a darker, like brown green. They call it black orcs. They're like the ancestral inhabitants of this place before it was the kingdom of Zenavir. She is like a sort of pinkish green, almost like a Mediterranean tan. You wouldn't be able to tell she was half orc except for the tusks. She otherwise looks mostly human. They're both wearing like sleeveless vests and sashes, like wide pants with good, very good boots. They look surprised when you sit down, but the man says, "You're not from around here. Strangers, I take it then. Travelers?"
I look down at my outfit and look up and I'm like, what gave it away?
Holy man, and your wife?
No, she wishes.
I don't wish. Trust.
Both he and the woman laugh. He introduces himself as Corin, and she does not give a name. So, it's not the first time we've been to this bar, and travelers have come through. I suspect you wanted to know more about what we were talking about.
Yeah, I overheard, and it sounds like something we may be proficient in helping with.
You smoke?
Yes.
Yeah, I figure, yeah, at this point everyone does.
Yeah. I mean, he pulls a little bit of tobacco out as payment for the soups. If either of you, I don't think either of you have pipes on your. So he lets you borrow a pipe of his, and the woman lets Tanira borrow her pipe. And, he leans in close, lets the smoke surround you all to give you a sort of air of privacy, as he conspiratorially says, my mother's sister's sons and several of his friends signed on for, well, people are desperate for coin around here to get around the problem with scrip, and the mercenary guild doesn't work for the empire. They were looking to secure a little bit of money gathering herbs. There's some rare things that grow west of here, at the tail end of the mountains. Herbs that can be used for healing, but also, I'm told, in magical potives, potions, salves, old folklore stuff. But the mercenary guild was keen. They were paying 300 gold pieces, each of them old imperial.
Is there any local wildlife or enemies that they could have encountered?
Sure. The mountains have griffins up above us. Normally, we do a pretty good job of chasing them off in town. Of course, there could always be, and the woman's just like, not this. Okay, he's trying to imply that there could be goblins involved. All right, but he's a little old-fashioned. If he's from an older, just forgive him. It was a different time back then. He says, God, Jesus. Well, I probably doesn't say Jesus. By the Emperor.
Gods.
Yeah, it could be goblins. All right, we always have to remain vigilant around here. Could be goblins. I mean, I wouldn't say that they're wildlife, but they definitely, they could always be them. All right, it wouldn't be the first time.
They have life and they are wild.
I heard rumors that there was a pack of bullets around. They're like land sharks.
Mm-hmm.
No panthers, though, right?
What's a panther?
It's like a large black cat. Very ferocious.
Like a house cat?
Mm-hmm. Multiply that by 5.
So like a lion. It's a black lion.
Yes, exactly.
Why wouldn't you just call it a black lion?
Because it's not a lion.
Okay.
Because then I'd be lying.
All right. I feel like this is a common linguistic joke that maybe I haven't understood, but your friend clearly gets it.
Nira chuckles a little bit, even if nobody else does.
Look, those kids are dead. We need to all be frank here. It's only a day's travel. They should have got the herbs, camped, come back. It's been almost a week.
Did those kids have any experience camping or going out?
I mean, everyone around here has some experience. You know, we all do national service. They know how to set up a hide skin tent and make a cook fire and, or, you know, boil boot leather if you have to. It's nothing unusual. I mean,
if say like
might have
one
been a
of them
little
broke
while
their
since
ankle,
they've done
they'd know
it.
what to do.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're not soldiers, they're not trained warriors beyond national service, but the Empire makes sure that we all get sorted out here. I mean, they can take care of themselves, and it's just herb picking. But I'm telling you, and he's already conspiratorially leaning. He leans in even closer and says, I think it's the goblins. They're preparing for it. What I love is you're not even at the table, Lauren, and you're still. I feel like you're definitely listening in really obviously at the next table over.
I'm just playing up for the audience.
That's the thing, you've been doing it the whole time consistently. It's amazing. He goes into a pretty mildly racist rant about he thinks that this is the prelude to an attack.
Well, if nothing else, we can get at least some information on your townsfolk. If not, maybe a little bit more information on what's going on with the goblins. So I don't think that's a terrible idea for us to go out and look.
Yeah, if we end up taking on this job, we'll see if we can find them and bring them home, and if not, we can at least bring solace and peace of mind.
Okay. Discord is saying that you guys should set up a counterfeiting operation for Imperial script. So Discord is definitely wrong. Listen, that would be a very involved mission to steal Lord Ortholax's plates and counterfeit Imperial script. But boy, would that be quite convoluted. But if you want to run a criminal network like that, let's do it. We're going to play Evil Geniuses 2 now.
I've already left a criminal network. I'd rather not start one.
I was gonna say, don't we have access to a spell that lets us create like small mundane items?
You have access to that spell, but I would point out that it cost as much gold as the item would to make it.
Okay, so how much gold does a $1 bill cost to make?
$1.
It costs $1 to make a dollar?
Yes. The spell specifically forbids you from doing what you're attempting to do. And before you ask me how that's possible, remember it's the gods, and they are divine and all-knowing.
And they only deal in hundreds.
I mean, I'm just gonna put it out there. If people are dumb enough to use paper money over good solid coin.
I mean, you could just fabricate a printing press rather than the actual notes.
That's
You're
true.
going to need a lot more than 25 gold pieces worth of parts to fabricate a Gutenberg.
All right, well, we should probably head to the guild in the morning.
Yeah, I think that'd be the best course of action.
Okay. You take your keys, you head out down the second row of houses built into the wall.
Sorry, I just want to establish while we're still in the inn that Kithrix has stopped somewhere to buy a deck of three dragon ante.
Yeah.
And has it dealed out on the table between her and Sparky, who's up on the table, trying to figure out they just know the rules, but there's she's reading a little instruction booklet trying to figure out the game with Sparky.
So it's like both of you picked up Ice Age starter packs for Magic the Gathering.
Let's make Pokemon. Yeah.
Do you have proficiency in it?
No, I don't. No, that's otherwise I know how to play.
Then let's make a intelligence roll off between the two of you.
No worries.
He actually does have proficiency in 3 Dragon Ante. Unsurprisingly, the dragons invented 3 Dragon Ante.
Oh, he can teach me things. I rolled a 3.
Sparky wins.
I just got to figure out what is
proficiency bonus is.
Yeah,
it's equal to mine.
Okay, and your
+3
is intelligence.
His intelligence. He's got a sheet. I can roll it for him if you like.
Okay.
So it'll be +3.
Damn, yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
No worries. Wow. Yeah,
You
I'm
get
gonna mark.
destroyed it through Dragon
I'm
Age.
going to mark 10 gold off my sheet because I got grifted by my own dragon.
He's like, my horde grows bigger.
Once again, Kittrix, you notice that no one is surprised by the presence of Sparky. It's almost supernatural that everyone simply accepts a very small dragon in their midst. And it's nothing new to hear. I mean, it's happened to you everywhere. Even your own party members are just like, oh, you know, a mystical, undying dragon spirit. That's normal.
It's interesting, and that's why it's okay, because it makes for good stories.
I lived a very sheltered youth in an isolated community in the woods, so
He's homeschooled.
I'm sort of assuming most things are what they appear to be.
Sure. Very well. When you wake up the next morning, all of you head to the Mercenaries Guild. Mornings here start quite early. The sun, because it's set inside of a mountainous canyon, the sun is not going to touch any light in this area for quite a while. But you're not sure whether it's Xanavier in particular or Arashban specifically. They are definitely up before dawn. People are running around. Carts are moving. Animals are being let out the northern gate in order to go feed. Soldiers are marching from the northern barracks to the southern wall to relieve the southern guard. Not so much music being played, perhaps not yet, but definitely people trying to sell things to travelers like you who are being rudely awoken by the sounds of the city around them. It is a industrious, I would even say like a puritanical work ethic around you as people simply wake up and work their hardest all day long. The 4 of you plus Sparky, so I guess the 5 of you, head to the Mercenaries Guild, which is not quite at the northern gate, but tucked away. There's a long tunnel because it's built into the mountain to get to it. And along the way, you can see like awards, citations, rights of people who have performed tasks at this particular guild. And we're not talking like my cousin and I went out back and picked herbs for a couple $100. Stuff like, you know, killed a particularly important person or advanced the imperial cause. You know, big paying top ticket jobs that make you famous get put on the wall here. The Mercenaries Guild is so sufficiently deep, the sounds of the outside do not reach here, so it is unsurprising to you that several alcoholics are still drunk or asleep all around the guild. This place is like a landmine. Drug use apparent. Alcoholism also apparent. People who sell their bodies for money through the force of arms, steel, and magic. Not the most in touch with the world around them. So, yeah, you're like carefully navigating around tables to the counter where the desk attendant, who's wearing fairly nice robes and has a nice little name badge that just says O on it, just a letter O, is cleaning up a glass, sets it down and says, would you like the list of today's jobs? Or are you looking for something behind the counter?
We were wondering if you might have a job looking for some lost city folk gathering herbs.
Alas, I don't have any job for that, but the herb job is not finished and it is past expiration. So if you would like to take it, certainly 300. We're now offering 350 for those herbs.
We'll take it.
Okay.
What's behind the counter?
If you have to ask.
Right.
That's not fair. New people wouldn't know. You could share some information with us. Sure. Dave.
Does anyone speak Thieves' Cant?
Nope.
Okay. He leans across the bar and he just says, well, it is fine weather we're having, but it could be stormy days.
What's that got to do with anything?
Cloaks for
And that's
you know,
why you don't know what's behind the bar.
heavy weather. Difficult times. It's fine.
I'm gonna change my cloak to like a really thick leather one with a hood.
I love that you all are taking him at face value.
I'm not a rogue. I don't know these things.
Yeah.
No.
I just work here.
You don't work here.
You do. He does.
In fact,
our
the
group.
only
now.
one of you
She does that.
the only one of you registered with the Mercenaries Guild is in fact Godric.
Can I also
Yeah,
register
actually,
with the mercenaries?
You want to
Guild?
register here now?
Yeah, I mean we're close enough to it. Might as well.
Okay.
I feel like I've seen this kind of like because I'm registered with the Mercenaries Guild. I've seen this before where like everyone's still drunk and passed out and sleeping when I come in for a
just so
job.
you know, he's talking about like illegal items. He, like they have
No,
a collection of.
I'm talking about like the scene. I'm familiar with it.
Oh yeah, you're familiar with the scene, sure.
I want to ask him if I can order a wake up call, and then I want to point to the people behind me and say, 5 minutes after we leave.
Okay. What are you offering, sir?
I'll slide him like 5 gold.
Okay. He just asked to see your, Mercenary Guild membership.
Yeah, show it to him.
Yeah, and he
flash him my
takes a
badge.
look at it, and then he pulls out a book and checks against it, and he's just like, okay. This is a good offering. Wake up call 5 minutes after you leave. I'm slightly concerned that this job is a little above your pay grade. Godric, according to the notes here, you are a accomplished goblin killer. I realize the pay is good compared to normal, but are you sure you want to spend all day? You have a number of better paying jobs that might more correctly fit your previous work experience. And it says here you haven't had a group before. You may be... Well...
We Godric's group.
Yes,
Yes.
that was implicit.
Mm-hmm.
He has not previously had a group. What I'm saying is he's capable of taking on more difficult jobs, and this job he has taken, the herb job just now, is not within his... It's...
Not
Would
in
you
my
like to see
normal
the
purview.
jobs list, sir?
No, I think we're more interested in finding out what happened to the kids than we are in actually gathering the herbs. But I mean, we might as well gather the herbs while we're out there and get some coin for it, right?
Okay, that's not really what I want to hear, because I'm here to ensure that the client gets the herbs that they want, but please, we would love for you to bring back any friends, family, and loved ones that you may find out there, and who knows, we would love for Mercenary Guild registration to be found alive and unharmed and brought back successfully.
That's what I like to hear.
Very well, just make your mark here, and I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. You wanted to register with us?
Tanira.
Tanira, okay. We're just going to ask you a few questions and do some... I'll need your consent for privacy reasons to do some magical readings on you. Some thought reading, just checking your background, and also a divination into your future.
Sounds pretty
I'm
extensive.
going to wish him good luck. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and leave the bar or leave the mercenary hall.
Yeah, Tanira, they just ask you some basic questions like who are you, or what they ask you is what would you like to be called, where are you from, because they're asking for tax purposes, because they're gonna need to put your portion of any goods that you make towards your local taxes, and just like general questions like what do you add to the party, like what's your skill set. They do a quick check to make sure that you're not like someone disguised as someone else or like a previous member. They take a little bit of your blood and they test it against a piece of paper. And they also perform a brief divination into your future. And the attendant behind the bar, just like nods at all of this. Nothing unusual seems to be happening. And so you're registering as just Tanira, no additional name or anything?
No.
What are you putting your place of residence as?
The keep.
Dragonhold?
Yeah.
Okay. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with Dragonhold. Where?
It's a new residence about 10 days march from here.
10 days march south. Very well. I will get that recorded. I'm looking at my local map here. It doesn't appear to be in a claimed area, so the great news is that you will not need to be paying any taxes on any of your jobs. If a new lord registers that as their area, I do see some ruins in the area. It is owned by Baron Petrosia, but again, it has not been registered. Should he claim ownership over the land, you at your next visit, you'll be informed of the change of status.
I give Tanira the paperwork.
Thank you, Guneria. Yes, we are the new lords of Dragonhold.
Okay. I mean, he looks over and says, all right, well, this is a little above my pay grade to register you as... I'm sorry, are you a lady of this land? Which one of you is Kithtrix Duskblade?
That's me.
Okay. And what level of tax compensation do you ask for from your field retainers? Vassals and peasants?
We're still in a planning phase right now, working out logistics. We have people to talk to, people to see. We'll get back to you when this is all sort of
the Mercenaries
worked out.
Guild will be in touch.
Perfect.
Okay. I'm gonna mark your application complete. He hands you like a stamped piece of metal that just says Tanira on it. It's like a copper plate. It's like dog tags, so that if you die, if something eats you, probably the copper will survive and they can recognize your body.
Wonderful. I'll just put it in my little pouch.
Godric, you have one, but it's steel.
He's got a nicer one.
He's done several jobs before. Copper is the beginners. Do
What does
well.
it go up to?
Or calcum.
Ooh, very nice. I'll have to come back for that later.
Someone's been watching Overlord lately.
This is actually just really standard
exactly why I
JRPG
asked.
adventure stuff. It has Overlord stole it from someone else, I assure you.
I'm sure they
Yes.
did. That's exactly why I asked. I was like, this sounds familiar. Adamantium.
I mean, mithril, adamantium, or calcum. You know, you got to get up there.
Mhm.
Yeah, the
get
four
there.
of you leave together. You have signed yourself up on a job to find several. Technically, the job you've assigned yourself to is to get 2 standard size sacks full of a variety of herbs that are only known to grow on the western side of Orishban's mountains.
Were the sacks provided by the guild, or is that something
No,
that
you're
we have
expected to bring your own sacks.
So I figure.
You're gonna have to go buy sacks unless one of you has 2 sacks.
I can get them.
Hey,
It's
don't
fine.
roll your eyes at me. You're expected to provide your own equipment. You're contractors.
I'm just
Wow.
thinking about saxophones now as the bard and the, like,
Saxophones?
2 sacks.
What am I, Bill Clinton?
How many times can we say sax on stream today? Let's find out.
No.
So would these herbs be classified as seasoning?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I
seasoning.
was wondering that too.
I was also wondering that for Godric.
Just pull them out of the bandolier.
Yeah. I mean, if there's any left over, it's all you, bud.
Right.
That's not what we're here for, though. We're here to save the children.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely not to gain favor with the town, for sure.
I mean, like, okay, so listen, if the herbs we were hired to look for, I can just pull out of the bandoliers, we can go ahead and fill up the sacks and then just head out there to go look for the kids.
Well, you
And say
only
we
get
got
a
the herbs,
pinch.
we'll come back.
Each time you pull it out, you get a pinch, and not
And
enough
you
to season
need-
one meal.
You need like
Yeah.
A lot.
1 pound sacks, 2
And
1
it's
pound sacks.
probably
of
raw,
herbs.
not like, you know.
Yeah, raw. It's not the processed stuff, which is what you'll
Yeah.
be pulling out.
Yeah.
You know,
Cool.
Look, if
Yeah,
you-
I'm-
if you wanted to spend a week, you still would not have what you needed.
Enough.
But hey, you show up with the processed stuff and like 1 week worth of you grabbing 2 sacks, 20 pinches of it. Who knows? Maybe they'll just mark you complete. I mean, the value of the job is almost the exact same of the value of the sack. So it's really like you're making money.
I just imagine level 20 Godric is just like pouches and pouches of fucking ingredients everywhere.
I stop wearing armor. I just douse myself in seasoning.
Exactly.
I did want to see if I could try and find some magical braces. So if we're going to leave town to go looking for these kids, I might try and at least, if I can't find it straight out, at least try and order that maybe.
Is it braces of archery?
It's braces of archery.
There are several metal, like bronze braces of archery, pre-made and ready to go. Archery is popular here both as a sport and as a military venture because they are a walled city and they love shooting people from a distance. It's pretty much what you do.
I'd like to see if I could find like just a +1 shield.
Yeah,
if at all
available.
possible.
Braces of archery are uncommon.
How much?
So the braces of archery are only going to cost you about 75 gold.
Done.
This town like specializes in making them. Looking for a +1 shield. Do we know what a shield +1 regular
it's
is?
Uncommon.
Uncommon?
Yeah, it's uncommon.
There's one available for like 100 gold pieces as like metal, not wood, not hide in any way.
Absolutely done.
It's I think they're called a Norman shield.
Let me look that up.
How would they have like bracers?
They're the shields that are like teardrop upside down.
Okay.
Yep.
Mhm.
How rare are like bracers of defense?
You would need to order them.
Rare.
Okay.
Yeah, you would definitely need to order one for sure.
Never mind.
Well, then, that being the case, I will also buy a regular non-magical suit of breastplate.
It'll have to get sized because you are much smaller than normal.
Okay. I will order.
You can certainly put the order in.
Yes.
And they can start working on it.
Cool. I will do that.
It'll be done in 10 days.
Just while we're perusing around and shopping, I want to see if I can find like a like pipe and tobacco like we were smoking at the
Yep, absolutely.
I can make one for you if you get the wood. I was kind of wanting to make one for myself.
I'll buy enough wood for Tanier to make a pair.
Yeah, some like
pipes.
nice dark wood or something.
Yes,
something not common but also not expensive.
I mean, the area you're going to specifically has rare woods and herbs in it.
Okay,
so
we can do that while we're there.
Collect it from your local area. You'll have to go a day without the pipe, but
find the kids. Get the herbs, get the wood. Perfect.
How much tobacco and what quality level would you like? Are you looking for a pinch, a pouch, a sack, a barrel?
I'd say just like a pouch and not like low quality stuff, but I'm not trying to break the bank and get like the highest quality.
Bandolier crows.
Like something the locals would smoke regularly.
Yeah, for sure.
It's 5 gold pieces. And they'll throw in the pouch as part of the purchase. It's like one of those what's that whiskey where they have the purple and gold
Crown Royal?
Oh, Crown Royal. Yeah.
It's like that.
Nice.
Where's my inventory?
Are you guys splitting and sharing a pouch, or are you each getting one?
I mean, I don't mind splitting and sharing it.
I don't mind splitting and sharing. Since I'm gonna make the wood, he can.
Make sure to write this on your character sheet.
BYOB.
And, I'll just assume you're smoking it regularly, unless you tell me otherwise.
Bring your own bag.
Are you exiting from the north or south gate?
Which would be faster?
I mean, they're both going to be equidistant. You just haven't been out the north gate yet.
Let's try the north gate since we haven't been there. Can at least scope out the rest of the town.
When you came here, because you were just showing up as traders, it was one thing. Exiting out the north gate requires a discussion of what your business is. You're pulled aside and interrogated much more thoroughly, and they ask to see your currency just to make sure that you're not smuggling vast piles of gold into the empire. Unfortunately, I believe you actually are smuggling vast piles of gold into the empire. And as a result, they will essentially just say, you need to either leave it here, or you can leave it in your room, or you can leave it with the guards here with a token. And when you return, they will return your gold to you when you give them the token.
We can leave it in the rooms. It's fine.
Not leaving anything in the room. I've seen the north gate. Let's go back out the south gate.
Okay. I mean, like, when you say that, you just know that you're, like, being marked. Like, they know that you're going to attempt, that you are carrying a massive pile of gold and that you are going to attempt to get around them.
Congratulations, you're not getting my gold.
Okay. Yeah.
Lords, we need money.
Sorry, your lords?
What? I didn't say that in character.
Okay. Just making sure. Yeah, you are. I mean, if you're all following Tanira's lead, you are turned away from the North Gate on suspicion of being coin smugglers.
I don't have that much. I don't have that much left.
Yeah.
I mean, anything over 100 gold
yeah.
pieces is looked upon
I was gonna
suspiciously.
say, what is a trafficable quantity here?
100 gold.
Okay, all right.
Two. Technically, the definition is 2 pounds of gold or more.
Okay.
Before I forget, I'm going to put my Blessing of the Forge on my chainmail, my armor.
Okay, so it's now also +1.
Yes.
You're gonna
Roger.
upkeep that every day.
Yep.
Okay.
And until we get back and I get my plate mail.
All right. You stop to do a short ritual where you bless your armor, and in the process, you begin sweating as you feel the heat of the forge roll over you, the infinite fire that awaits in the center of the crust and mantle of the world, and you see before you the giant stone face of Bjorman Stoneface. Its mouth moves, but you can't understand his words. I mean, understanding the words of a divine being directly requires you to be a level 20 cleric or equivalent divine spellcaster. But your mind expands and is filled once more with the vision of you writing in a book made of steel plates. So like the pages are all replaced by like metal sheets, and like dwarven runes, Futhark, have been carved into them.
Cool.
When you finish, you notice that your hand is glowing forge red hot, and as you let it go, it instantly cools. But your chainmail feels lighter, stronger, but somehow also more breathable and supple. Like it's got a little air conditioning going on as well.
Thank God.
If we are stopping for a ritual, can we have a short rest? That way I can attune.
Yeah, of
We
course.
can also have a short break.
I mean,
if
you had a long rest overnight,
Yes.
so yes, you
I
can
just
absolutely.
bought the braces now, though. So
Yes. Well, then yeah, you stop. You attune to your bracers. So there are two, like bands that fit onto the arm. They're shaped like C's. You slip them on and they secure themselves.
we're all, kind of taking a break to do our stuff, we might take a break to roll some ads.
Incredible segue. We're at 59 minutes exactly as of this moment. So we do need to roll ads once every 60 minutes. So we will come back after intermission. I will eat some toast during the break. What you do is your own business. I think initially I warned not just the group, but the audience that this episode might end early because the players had chosen on a job, but then they decided to take the background rumor job, which I know what happens in. I just didn't think they'd go there.
Yeah,
So the episode will not end
need-
immediately.
happy you don't need a dungeon for herb picking. So this is like deep moss.
I mean, listen, things can often get out of hand when you go outside the lost mines of Phandelver. That said, I didn't mention it as well, but you should know that these videos are all being combined into one video now. So if you're watching on YouTube and you were like, where's the second part? But you're watching this right now, it's because I'm using the power of editing to make it all into one part now, so that YouTube will be less upset with me.
I didn't get to say it during the Patreon meeting, but I do really approve of your 3-hour, like your time slots as both a player and an audience member. 3-hour games, the time slots they're in, it's so much easier to play and consume.
Without intros, so we can also move very quickly.
That's right.
Like I said, I'm really liking it.
If you didn't join Arthur's Patreon meeting because you're not a Patreon, you can become a Patreon by
It's
going
also
to
a Twitch sub meeting, so if
That's
you
it, yeah,
sub
true.
on Twitch using Twitch Prime through Amazon, or sorry, it's not called Twitch Prime anymore. It's called Twitch Gaming. No, it's Twitch Prime through Amazon Gaming. Okay. Sorry.
That's a mouthful.
It's
Twitch
tax
Prime.
season. They're going to be real upset with me.
There's our plug for the day, though.
What is going on with the money? You're bringing it with you through the southern gate, or you're leaving it somewhere?
I'm happy to stash my money.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't mind stashing it.
Are you asking Cork to do anything? You've prepaid him for guide services. Would you like him to go with you? Would you like him to stay and watch over your room, or are you okay with him taking jobs while you're gone?
I don't want to put him in any danger. So if he's got to do his thing, then...
And I don't want him watching over the room, so he's free to mosey about the cabin.
I mean, he's got your money. You've prepaid him. He's just gonna. If you come back, he'll be taking small messenger tasks at the southern end of town. He'll find you if you come back, or meet you at his mother's sister's inn.
Hey, out of character, real quick, James. You mentioned getting like a seneschal or castellan or whatever for our dragon keep.
Yes.
You think this guy would be a good fit?
I don't know.
I assure you, he does not have the skills necessary.
Yeah, me, James thinks definitely not. Kithtrix is like, I don't know, he seems nice enough.
That's not what a seneschal or castellan does. He could certainly be a host if you asked him, convinced him to leave his family and homeland, join
bring them too.
Could happen.
Ragtag group of keep people.
Listen, I don't know what it's called, but I'm sure that in medieval times, having a friendly face at the door that isn't a guard to welcome you and tell you what to do, like a greeter or like a town crier or something, probably a pretty important, well-paying, but overlooked job.
He could come and bottle for us.
He's gonna buttle for you. For the folks at home, that is the verb description of what a butler does, is buttling. Just in case you've never heard that one before.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah,
in my life.
well, now you understand what buttling is.
Yep.
The four of you leave through the southern gate and make your way immediately to the west, following the outside of this particular mountain. I'm just going to be straight with you. You're going to need to make some survival checks coming up, and this is going to be the first one.
I'm down.
I also need to know, what pace you're traveling at before you make that survival check.
I feel like a normal pace is probably...
Okay. Like a medium pace. All right, 18, yeah. I mean, you really just keep the mountain to your right-hand side while you walk around it. I don't want to say they're threats, but if you were like a peasant or a like low-level adventurer, I mean, I'm just gonna call it adventurer because that's what it's the player's guide calls you, like adventurers or player characters. If you were low-level, there would be some wilderness threats here, but it's Solasta style. You're simply too powerful. It either takes you but a single slash of a blade to scare off, like wild dogs. I wouldn't even call them wild. What's it called when domesticated animal feral? Is that what it's called when domesticated animals go wild? Yeah, like
or rabid.
Yeah, these aren't rabid, but you are set upon by like feral dogs who are immediately scared away by literally any level of violence. They just smell your food and then back out. There's several challenges like getting over a stream, but you have a monk who's incredibly good at jumping, and the rest of you are by now more or less proficient athleticists, or have enough levels that just falling in a stream won't instantly kill you. The journey, it's a bleak land. We're talking scrub, open plains. Whatever isn't part of the mountain is flat, windswept, and slightly rolling, but with enough low grasses that something can and has and does hide from you from time to time. It's probably much worse for you, Kithtrix. Like, everyone else is tall enough that the slight rolls make no difference for them, even Godric, but you're still even shorter than him. And, you're tall enough that even the lowest, like, little rolls you can't see over them, so... Who's mounted right now? I believe several people have mounts. I just didn't know if anyone's riding them.
Yeah, I do
Nice.
like that too.
I'm on-
Yeah.
Guinevere,
honestly,
you're the only one walking?
I could
Well,
put
I didn't want to bring the whole cart. And
I could put
horses.
Kithrick's on my horse, and I could just walk
So
beside the horse.
I bought a horse, but I think I'm still waiting for my saddle to be made though.
Yes.
So
You can
yeah,
still
okay,
ride
so-
on the horse.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to go bareback.
All right.
So
You can have the
I-
horse
I-
carry your bags.
Did I get a saddle? Oh, you had to custom make your saddle, didn't you?
Yeah, you
Because
bought a
I'm
saddle.
small and wanted to have a
Alright.
seat for Sparky too.
Do you
so-
remember you custom ordered, or sorry, you ordered a bunch of accessories? I got you with like bit and bridle, food, all that stuff. Yeah, you have a saddle.
Yeah, insurance?
And then now you get insurance. You're not
So
required to
I-
get insurance. in
I
this
got the
state.
low jack on there, you know.
So I'll ride behind, like I'll ride on Tanira's horse, then holding Sparky in my lap if that's okay. I'll leave my horse at town until
Yeah,
I have a
it's
saddle
fine.
for
Okay.
use.
I don't know how famous it is outside of the city of Philadelphia, but do you guys know what I'm talking about when I talk about the club?
Yeah.
I know what the club is.
Okay,
Yeah.
everybody knows what the club
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
In Philadelphia, every motherfucker had one, but
Oh, I know what you're talking about now.
You
Yeah,
put
yeah,
the club
yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
horse.
you gotta get
It's
a
got
club
like a
for
hook
your
on one side, and
horse.
you use like
We'd like to call you for the extended warranty on your saddle.
I hate it when
I'm
those
trying to reach
messengers.
you about your extended warranty.
Yeah, I didn't opt in for that because those messengers are brutal.
Yeah, that's right.
By the end of the day, you think you've more or less reached the area. So the mountain is quite imposing and steep, but as you get to the western side, it really asymptotically levels out into sort of short plateau before dipping again. And you know that reaching that plateau is where these herbs are supposed to be. As all of you climb up, it is dark. I feel like I always have to say this because this group, mountains are always cutting off the sun, but you are on the western facing mountain. There is a mountain between you and sunlight. And so, you know, like you get that weird God rays where like the mountain sun rays are on either side of you, but you are stuck in darkness and shadow. As you make your way up, you find three half-orc men who have been torn apart, and they're being eaten by small, inky black. They're almost like halflings made of shadow, lanky, thin, and evil. And they're like eating the flesh, and they turn to look at you, and their eyes go from like normal eyes to like shadowy as well. And they're just watching you as you walk up here. As it like rips one of the half-orc's arm off, just
What are these things?
I don't know. I think
Just
I
shout at
think
him. Be gone. Shoot.
Yeah, I'm gonna use thaumaturgy to make my voice really loud and say, "Be gone!"
Godric, you can make an Arcana check because dwarves would know what this is to some
And
extent.
you love Arcana
Oh
checks.
boy.
I know you do love
He's like the
Arcana
greatest
checks.
at them. Surprised you didn't take a feat in Arcana
I
checks.
should have. Ooh, do I want to use my? I'm going to use my inspiration on this.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
You don't technically need to commit to that until after the roll. I'm just going to call
Okay.
that roll now because so many people have inspiration and never use it. You want to just roll first, see what
Let
it
me just roll.
is.
Yep.
Yeah, you're going to want to use that inspiration. So just roll
Yeah, I
again.
rolled a 2
For folks at home, it's a
that's okay.
2. Yeah.
and a 5.
Slightly better.
More than double.
You feel like you've heard stories about what this creature is, but you have no idea. Tinira, you're using thaumaturgy to make a loud noise?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, "Be
Make-
gone!"
Okay,
Make a
make an
voice sound
intimidation
imposing.
check at advantage.
All right. I get to roll.
Frodo Baggins, I
I'm
am
not some
not trying
cheap
to rob you. Oh no,
tricks.
Bilbo Baggins. Yeah, okay. They scatter immediately. Like you project your voice, it rolls out loud over the steps. You do recognize though that you just reflected your voice off of a large rock, and it is open. Like it's gonna carry across the scrub for a while.
Everyone knows to be gone.
Good.
These creatures disappear. It is dark, but if you wanted to push yourselves, you could even try to gather up the herbs around you. And of course, you have 3 slightly dismembered, slightly eaten half-orcs. And I'm not trying to make light of that. It is horrifying to look upon. They were clearly killed and used as a food source, and these things that are on them now are just scavenging the remains.
Okay, I was going to say that. So it doesn't look like they were killed by these things.
These things definitely do not have bladed weapons, which is absolutely how these guys were killed.
I also have dark vision, so
yep.
I can
only. But so dark vision doesn't give you color, and it only extends 60 feet, so it's a very short range, like shorter than a flashlight.
Yeah.
So it's not like super comfortable, and I know James doesn't have it, so.
I'm gonna go up to the bodies and take their dog tags if they worked for the mercenaries.
Only one of them has one, but yeah, you grab his plate. It just says Tarek.
I mean, grab anything that might be there flying, like rings or such, and we'll bury what's left.
Yeah,
but we can take something back of each one to their families.
Unsurprisingly, they brought little to nothing but gardening trowels, knives for self-defense, some paper imperial script, and little else, because why would you come out here with any of that? They did, however, get 2 sacks, which I don't know that any of you got, but they have them.
Oh, wow.
Perfect. I would definitely take the sacks and the trowel with me.
Okay. Have they found any herbs so far?
Yeah, they do. If you go inside, you sniff and you recognize that they have some herb that's called fairy wand and some uncommon sorrel. Which is like common sorrel, but it's also more pungent.
Okay.
Are these the herbs that we needed to grab? Which ones did we need to grab?
Yeah, I mean, look, they only have a few handfuls in here. You still need a full pound, but yeah, you need 3 herbs: uncommon sorrel, lovage, and fairy wand. And while you're here, you do notice that there are some very fine woods. As you look at the trees that are up here, you think they're actually petrified wood, closer to stone in some way.
Cool.
It looks like being in the shadow of the mountain for such a long time has allowed them to reach a new level of petrifaction.
I definitely want to play with that.
I'm gonna use my axe and take off a couple of branches from the trees.
Okay. Yeah, again, it is basically more stone than wood at this point, but yeah, you axe. It's a little rough on your axe, but fortunately your axe is magical and it's literally called Hugh, so the axe recognizes this as a tree. I believe Hugh gets special attacks against trees.
It does automate maximum damage against plants.
Yeah.
You easy, clean slice through the petrified wood, and you get these beautiful branches. Absolutely, it's like it's got all the like striation of the tree, and like it feels like it has a bark, but it's like a copperish orange set with like a granite.
So if I can, I'm trying specifically to go for to get chunks where the crotch of the tree is.
Okay.
Where the crotches would be. If anyone here is familiar with woodworking and what that
I have no idea, but whatever you want, you can get it because you have Hugh.
It's where the branch comes off of the trunk, and so it would be where the grain actually branches off.
You got it.
So you get really cool patterns from the wood there.
Can you grab me some too?
Of course.
Perfect.
I was assuming that was implied.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can get. I mean, if you want to destroy all of them, you can get about 4 arm bundles worth.
Cool.
At max.
I'll try to find the rest of the herbs, I guess, that we need to.
You want to work through the night and just get it all done?
Should we? Yeah. Why don't we camp the night here and we can gather in the morning and head back?
I don't
Yes.
think that's a great idea to camp next to these bodies, but
well, that's why I said I'm happy we should bury them first.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do that, yeah.
Yeah, I think after I get the wood, I'll help Kithrix bury the bodies.
I'll probably just stay around the group and see if anybody's coming near us, because I don't want what happened to them to happen to us.
Okay. You're a cleric now. Can I have you make a religion check while you bury them? I'm talking to Kithrix specifically, since you seem to be
we
the
have
one
2
burning
clerics now. Wow.
Yes, but only one of them is committing them to the earth. And as you know, bodies that are not committed properly will be undead.
Use my inspiration on this.
Yeah?
I would also.
I mean, it's not bad. And you wrote the exact same thing twice.
thing.
Look,
That's
these
rough,
guys
bud.
aren't going to turn back up as undead, but it may take some time for their rested souls to arrive at their destination. Whether that's days or weeks, they will arrive in the realm of judgment at some point. It'll just be a little while. You commit them into, the exact representation of your god, the soil beneath your feet. However, the soil here is absolute dog shit. You're on a plateau on the side of a mountain, and it's basically more rock than
It's like
clay.
a foot of dirt there followed by bedrock. Yeah.
Even if you took them back down the side of the mountain, which again isn't that long, the soil out there is all scrub. It's going to be real tough to get them buried deep enough. So you give them like a shallow, not even like a cairn, but just something to cover them so that they aren't eaten by wild animals.
Does Godric have a pickaxe? Maybe you can help with.
He does.
Yeah, I do have my pickaxe.
He has the pickaxe of his father and his I don't know, fiance, girlfriend. What's going on there?
Yeah, what's up with
We
that?
haven't
What's the
touched on that.
relationship
Yeah, what is
status?
up with that? Yeah, you
You
want
got
to
Facebook official or what?
Is that tea? Is that hot? Spill it.
I don't know. I was waiting to hear back from you.
Sorry, it's complicated. I
It
think.
is
It's complicated, yeah.
I mean, you are
Updated.
technically banished from your homeland, and the last time you saw her, she was actually a green dragon posing to get you to sign a contract of submission towards her. But yeah, I mean,
Last communication I had with her, I sent her a letter and 900 gold and a wyvern bone to make me a weapon.
Yeah, so
yeah, of course. But then you went somewhere else and didn't tell her where you went to, and well, that could end very poorly. There are several people who have letters waiting for them, including Gwyneria, that cannot find their way because you went to a keep in the middle of nowhere, and at every opportunity to tell someone that you now own this keep, you have ducked up until the mercenary counter.
I feel like we would have left like instructions like, hey, we're heading this way, and it might be a long journey.
Sure, but messengers aren't mad. Well, for the most part, messengers said there are some, but they cost a lot of money.
I need that Skyrim courier. Just finds
You mean
me
the ones you
everywhere I go.
find
They
dead
find
with
you,
quest
yeah.
items on them? You're gonna find somebody and be like, I see. This finished item, I should bring it to Godric the Tall. With it, he will give me great rewards.
No, I mean
New
the one
quest.
that where I'm in the middle of fighting a dragon, all of a sudden my camera turns around and says, "Hey, it's you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands on." I'm like, bro, I'm busy.
All right, well, this is a great aside, but we finished the burial service. It's nice-ish. Your words, I guess, maybe are not the most perfect, and the services I don't know that we've ever seen you bury somebody before, so certainly not since you've become a cleric. So, you realize and recognize you have a divine duty to return people to the earth, but no one has told you how to do that duty.
No, that's right.
You're kind of just working on instinct, which is, of course, how wisdom works.
And I don't really have a doctor. Well, it's intelligence is religion.
Is it? All right.
Yeah.
Well, then I was totally wrong. Talk to me about setting camp. Tanira, you seem like you really don't want to set camp and you want to work through the night. What's going on here? Let's get.
I just want to get back to town as soon as possible.
The problem is that if we work through the night, we're going to be exhausted trying to travel back. And we've already had multiple problems with trying to function while exhausted. I just think that we make this place as safe as possible.
I have a horse, so it's not like I'm going to be walking back.
Well, we've been riding the horses and sheep all
They
day.
need rest.
They need a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can take a break while I go find herbs.
No.
But if you
Do
guys
we
aren't
vote?
for it, then
Do we vote?
Yeah, I think we should stay put, set camp.
Camp.
I mean, maybe not here on the plateau where the dead bodies are buried, but
fine.
in the vicinity.
I'll take first watch, and I'm going to start carving those pipes for us.
Okay. Easily, but within a few hours, you get some pretty simple pipes carved with, tools. Just get in there.
Yeah.
The two
Use
of
the
you,
base.
before sleeping, enjoy a nice pipe by... Are you setting a fire? Again, you are in a raised location that is visible in 270 degrees.
I don't think there's a fire. I think it's just dry rations tonight.
And what's the weather? Is it where we're going to suffer exposure?
You know what? It's a good time of year to be out here. It's warm, but not too warm. Of course, there's a constant wind, but you know what? It's been a while since I used the random weather generator, and probably you won't die from fairy storm if I use it. So let's see what it has to say.
Probably.
I haven't used this since Winter's Edge. That's how long ago that was.
They worked well.
It did work well in Winter's Edge. They were constantly getting snowed on.
That's why
Of
it's
course, they
called Winter's Edge.
also live
Summer's
in
Edge.
a snowy area. I don't think I need to have you make a survival check. I mean, you're a ranger with survival. You know that tomorrow is probably going to rain. You know, you got that red at night, red in the morning sort of deal. It's warm, 30-mile-an-hour winds, pretty steady. I mean, even if
So
you
it's
had
not-
a fire out here, it would be tough to keep it lit.
Yeah, so it sounds like we can camp without a fire. Then.
But again, it won't rain until the next morning, so you'll
Yeah.
be high and dry overnight. It will perhaps make getting the herbs easier. They'll be easier to pull out.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'd like a set of survival checks from everyone as we do watch, and I'd also like to do them in watch. Oh, someone already rolled. I was going to say in
My
watch
bad.
order.
Well, Tanira was going first
Oh,
anyway.
Tanira's
So.
first.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I definitely didn't have my mouse over it already.
Who's number 2? I know. I don't believe you.
I think for probably Gwyneira is the best for the second watch because she only needs 4 hours. So
Yeah.
breaking up sleep in 2 parts
Mhm.
is probably safest.
Okay.
Right?
A nice
And then
set.
Okay,
I'll
I'm
go
going to come
last.
back to you, Guneria, because something happens
Oh,
for you.
Do you want me
But
to
let's
roll
get
for mine or
everybody
not?
else. No, keep rolling, keep rolling.
Is I was gonna say, is it me next or James?
Well, do we need 4 watches or 3 watches? And
I think you need
get
3
up and
watches.
Yeah,
Three
and
watches, okay.
yeah, that kid's got time to get up and cook breakfast in the morning.
All right. I was gonna say I'd cook it during my watch, but
Guneria, something happens towards the end of your trance. You trance regularly, but most of the places you've been lately have either been on the road or influenced by civilization in some way. This is not particularly close to a road. It's not particularly close to a town. There are probably no living people anywhere near you. And underneath the sky here, on a night like this, your connection with your Fey ancestry and the plane of fairies is stronger than normal. And you get a warning down that line. You're not exactly sleeping, you're just meditating, thinking on things, and you realize that it's been some time since you've heard from your mother or your father. Now, of course, your mother was tracking you using her oracular powers as, a blessed of the Canaan star, but even when they had that power, it wasn't always correct, and they would bombard an area with letters. That bombardment hasn't happened. You haven't heard back from them since before you killed the green dragon.
interesting.
You haven't checked in with them in a while either.
No, I haven't. Been
And
busy.
you feel in this moment the absence of their presence from the plane of fairy. The plane itself is worried for you about them. It sends a warning to you as you awaken to Godric passing off. Or sorry, Tanira passing off watch to you, is what I will say.
That definitely unsettles me. Perhaps we will have to. Oh my. Well, I'm not going to say anything to anyone now. I would save it for the morning, certainly. But
You don't have to do anything about it. You can just
no.
exist
But
in this.
if they are they missing? Are they dead? This is not a good feeling. Man, this
Not
would be.
particularly, no.
No. So that's something that I'll have to discuss with the group. We may need to, once we know that
You just gotta
the
call your
dragon.
parents, you know? Audience, you should also call your parents every once in a while.
Especially if they don't bombard you with letters.
Yes. Well, I'll have to somehow get some divination going at some later date.
Sending spell probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Not a magic that I have, but probably something I should pick up.
As the four of you go about morning routines, gathering spell power through arcane means as a bard or through prayer as clerics, having a yet another wonderful morning breakfast. However, it's morning. You could probably set a fire if you wanted to. What's Godric making? You know what? What is Godric making? Let's know what's on the menu.
I think this morning it's just like a really simple, basic like pancake. If we have like potatoes, maybe like latkes or something.
All right, cool.
So something that can be eaten without the need of like maple syrup or powdered sugar. So
You could get powdered sugar. You can just reach into those bags.
yeah, I
Salt
can also
bait.
just get salt.
Yeah. It does make baking very convenient with those pouches. Not like mass baking, you wouldn't have nearly enough, but
No, but with a little stuff for cooking for a group like this. I was gonna say if we had a full kitchen, I'd do stuffed French toast.
you definitely don't have a full kitchen. I would be interested in that.
We just need Heward's handy full kitchen. That's magic item.
I mean, new spell, Godric's full kitchen.
I'm down for it.
Unfortunately, you can't make new spells as a divine caster because the gods have chosen what they are going to allow. But an arcane caster could make it, so maybe it's Guineria's full kitchen. It's like a lesser version of Liamon's tiny hut.
Tiny hut. Yeah. Mordecai's mansion.
A much lesser version of that.
I think part of preparing my spells in the morning it involves offering breakfast to my god.
You burn an offering as is proper to the god of the forge. And as it burns unusually, it burns with a green and purple flame, the kind of chemical flame that you can get. So green flame that you get from certain refining of elements that lets you know it has been received on the far end.
Cool. As I see the green flame, I know it's good shit, huh?
You feel rather than hear the sound of a hammer striking a plate true. I would like a survival check from everyone to help anyone that's getting involved in gathering the herbs. Uncommon sorrel, lovage, and fairy wand. Guineria, if you are involved in gathering fairy wand, you get a advantage on this check.
Okay, but I will definitely want to get fairy wand. Oh, 2 15s.
Yep.
Nice.
Everybody is overwhelmingly successful. It takes the better part of 10 hours to find. You basically deforest this area up here. You probably leave enough for it to regrow eventually, but it'll be at least a full season for it to get like mature plants again. Whoever asked for this job is really pushing the amount you can get out of this area.
Let's see if they try and market it as ethically sourced afterwards as well.
Was there any leftover, or did we get enough to?
There's
fill
nothing
the
left
bags?
over. Like let me say this: you could get the last of the plants, like the seedlings or whatever, or particularly young plants. You could pull it up if you wanted to get some for your own, but it would like destroy this rare herb source. Which
That's okay.
you don't live here. You could do it.
No, I was just thinking if there's like
actually-
more than what our bags could carry, like we could take some back. But if it's gonna kill it,
you
then probably
definitely are
not.
pushing it on 2 bags for sure.
It's okay.
I'd actually be interested in gathering some of like the offcuts or the seedlings we do find and planting some of them around where the bodies were buried because it'll be natural compost.
That's not a bad idea.
You get the feeling that your god approves when, as you are planting them, the day's rain briefly stops in a really miraculous circle around all of you. You know, like it's literally you're surrounded 10 feet on any side by a wall of light rain, and you're perfectly dry for but a few moments during, you know, planting on the bodies. The nameless spirit of the earth and soil has recognized what you're doing and is happy because you kind of, I wouldn't say you flubbed it, but it wasn't the most gracious funeral service yesterday. You know, it did put, you know, the director didn't put their full gusto into the. It is wet but warm. It's that you're rained on, but it's still like 65 Fahrenheit. So even though you should be cold from being wet, you're actually not. Kind of deal.
Gwyneira has a big hat, so it's okay.
Yeah, of course.
And I got a cloak.
You could try again to push to make it back today, or, you know, you would arrive sometime in the middle of the night.
I mean, so first off, the horses haven't been walking around, so they won't be tired.
Correct.
But is the gate locked at night?
Absolutely, they will not let you in at night.
Okay.
I thought I could get you on that
for the
one.
morning.
You might as well
Business is
rest.
our own.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's okay to put, like, if the animal's been resting all night, I feel like it's okay to push them
Push
today.
them. Yeah. I'm
Just
okay
make it
with that
back
too.
today.
You could just, yeah. Oh, you want to move fast? Yes. If you move fast today, you'll roll at disadvantage on survival, but you will make it back before they close. Yeah, sure. Who's leading this particular charge?
I'll do it.
You are definitely going to need to scoop somebody up to. I mean, if you guys want to go full mounted. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay.
use my inspiration if that helps at all.
Well, that would
I
have
mean, you
gotten
rolled
rid
a
of the,
15. You're already good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that on your lowest?
No, that was
Yeah,
on my.
that was on
No,
the
that
lowest,
wasn't on
yeah.
your
Oh, that
lowest.
was
Yeah,
on
you
my
ten.
lowest,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was
Okay.
disadvantage. Yeah.
Cool.
You easily make it back in time. You've probably got an hour or two before they close the gate.
Perfect.
That's enough time to turn in the herbs.
You indeed spend a few minutes headed to the Mercenary Guild. It's actually completely empty when you arrive. No one showed up for nightly drinking. Everybody's either out working or out looking for work somewhere else. A new attendant is there with a she's like a little, you think she might be half tiefling, half lizard folk. Definitely a lot of scaling, dark purple scaling going on, but also with horns and a tail. Wearing a very similar robe from before and just a name tag that just says P, just the letter P. She nods when you enter in. Hello.
Hello,
Greetings,
Pete. How are you?
Oh, I'm great.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I want to, like, very solemnly hand her the plate from the.
Oh, for Corin?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she will take it. Sorry, Corin. And she will, nod and say, thank you for returning this. We will make sure to, I assume his whole party perish.
And we
From what
also
we could tell, yes.
Do you have any effects?
Show what we got. Well, okay. So there was a group that was in the tavern before. That were they friends or they were just discussing?
It was his
Like cousins,
it was his
sisters?
aunt's. It was his aunt's
sisters, kids.
cousin. It's his cousin.
Yeah, this is cousin. You said it was his
So-
mother's sister's.
Yeah,
kids.
mother's sisters. So
So if the
friends.
mercenary guild's not paying for these things, I'd rather return them to. Like, I mean, I'm happy to show the mercenaries that we put evidence of their deaths, but we want to take them back to their families.
Okay.
Yeah. We also have these, and I'll just put all those sacks of herbs on the table.
Okay. She says, okay. Let me just look through the book here, and I'm sorry, which group is associated with these 2 sacks of pungent herbs?
Godric.
Godric.
Yes,
Can I
Godric.
see your plate, please?
I show her my plate.
Okay. She just checks it. Says, okay. She checks through the book and says, all right. Yeah, this looks fine. We will have your pay for you tomorrow after someone has appraised these. You can just return back here.
right.
Perfect.
I'll
Thank
see you
you.
in the morning.
Of course. Would you? We can offer you a prepaid voucher for half the cost if you needed it for stay, lodgings, general payment. It's whatever you want to do
No,
with it.
I'll collect the whole payment tomorrow morning.
Very well.
Quite
Perhaps
tired.
you'd like a round of drinks, food,
Yes.
wine.
Yes. Now that's payment right
I
there.
want to be clear. This is not on the house. She's
Oh,
yeah.
no, we'll spend our coin elsewhere.
Very well.
Yeah.
Please
We've
enjoy your
already
evening. And she
secured
hands you
lodgings
your
elsewhere.
tag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, I'd much rather give my money to the innkeeper.
All right. To the inn.
All right, you arrive back at Mistress Novish's. I don't know how much you want to play out a scene between you and Corin returning his cousin's tags to him. But
If Godric is cool with it, we can kind of discuss it on the way there. But I'd like to, give them the plate as well as a couple of ales for them.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
look, it's a bad moment for him, right? Like he
Yeah.
knows that he's gonna have to tell his mom and his aunt, although
And
again
his
he
family,
calls
yeah.
her mother's sister. Like he knows this guy personally. Like he's just crying
Yeah.
into his drink, and
Right.
he's joined by the same female half orc who's just trying to console him, and
I tell
You
him,
know, he's
we
lamenting and
found,
raging against the way of things. Sorry, what you got going on?
I was going to tell him where we found the bodies. That while we gave them
Okay.
burial, we don't know if there were any specific rites, but they are buried up there. If
Okay.
they want to go and perform their own rites and whatnot, and then I'll buy them a couple rounds of ale and buy their dinner and whatever.
Yeah, so Corin definitely says, he's like, we'll mount an expedition and get the bodies back. And his companion is just like, they have been buried by a cleric. Like, we need to just let them rest in that earth. We can hold a ceremony here. All right. You're just too hot-blooded.
Chicken and sea.
Yeah, there's not going to be.
I'm not even going to continue to let it go.
I'm not going to say this, but I'm just thinking there's not much body left to bring back.
It's true, though. It's true.
Yeah.
What's great is
I
that
see
no
them-
one investigated the bodies. I told you they were killed by bladed weapons, and Noah went,
Yep.
that's suspicious.
But listen.
Could have been
We
anybody.
probably could have, and that would have just confirmed this guy's suspicions and made him more racist. And we don't need that.
No.
I mean, we did investigate. We investigated. You told us that they were killed by bladed weapons. That was the result of our investigation.
Roll an investigation. I'll certainly let someone roll a posthumous investigation here if anyone was interested. You may not want to let Bearded do it, but I mean, if no one else does, he's gonna.
I'm
Boom.
proficient in it, so.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, let's do it. We flash back while you're having this conversation. Oh, surprisingly good. Okay, so you're kneeling down over the bodies again. They have been dead for several days, so this is already pretty rough. They are bloated and smelly. The blood is all dried up. Its putrefaction is pretty bad. Animals have been at them, but you do recognize it might not have been a sword. It's definitely some sort of slashing weapon. Cuts on all of their chests. You're not sure if it's ritual because they seem very similarly angled and in, like from right to left downwardly. Most of them have some other battle wounds as well, like a cut on a cheek, or like one of them had their cutting across the cut. Someone plunged a blade in and pulled it out.
Do you
But
think
yeah,
it's from
you're
like a
thinking
taller attacker or like a shorter attacker? 'Cause
Yeah,
you
you're
said the
thinking that
cheek.
the attacker was someone taller than they were. They were using a fairly heavy blade, probably two-handed of some kind. Could also
Interesting.
be a spear. It definitely had some reach to it. The blade was also kind of wide, so it
not a
left like
goblin.
fat wounds in its wake.
Interesting. I probably would have said this if we're all just like investigating. I would probably just, monologue to the group.
So nothing about this screams goblin to you, because
Yeah.
you've specifically seen goblin weapon. Mad Dog's axe is a cruel goblin weapon. Nothing about that, it's cruel and sharp, but thin, so you can get the real stab in. and like hooked. It might be another goblinoid. You don't really know a lot about hobgoblins,
Hobgoblins,
bugbears, gnolls. I mean, each of these people has their own history, culture, and weaponry. But this is definitely not a goblin attack for sure.
It was obviously
some type of.
what was his name? Tarolax, the guy we dueled in
It's definitely not.
keep it
It's definitely not his.
That's not his MO. He seems
You don't
like
know
a
what
pretty
his second
honorable
sword
guy.
looks like because it remains sheathed, but it's definitely not the white sword he engaged you with.
Yeah. Interesting.
Nothing about this seems magical either. Like there was no, like the weapon wasn't +1. There was no magic used to like suck their souls out or anything, or weaken them in some way. No signs of like fireballs.
Gotcha.
But this is like obviously a murder though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They were definitely killed.
It's probably something I would definitely tell the guild when we kind of dropped everything off too. Like, hey, it wasn't just a random kind of goblin attack.
I mean, they're going to take note of that, but they only have your word for it, so they're probably going to send someone to investigate.
Yeah.
Someone targeting guild mercenaries intentionally is bad news for them.
Bad for business, yeah.
Yep.
At least put it in their ear. I don't need them to like trust me, but
sure. I mean, you literally just
a
signed
rookie.
You just signed up yesterday.
Yeah.
So
your entire guild's under siege.
The bearded who cried wolf.
Yep, exactly.
Things with Corin devolve into sorrow, misery, but also a celebration of the three of their lives. As they were citizens. They wanted to do what was best for Ordish Bon. They wanted to make sure that their families could survive in these uncertain times. War may not be at the front steps, but economic uncertainty is almost as bad, and currency disappearing makes for very uncertain trading times. So, Corin, I think, gets a bit preachy and political and lamentful while he's shrunk about it, and his companion pulls him back before he says anything that might get the guard involved.
Yeah. To be clear, I dropped the drinks off. I don't really stay to kind of witness that.
I sing a lament.
Ah, the lament for Boromir, I know it well. There is no east wind as part of it, though.
No. The wind was out of the west at 30 miles per hour.
That's true.
Is anybody sitting in that little corner by the fireplace like last time?
Same guy, yeah.
Same guy.
Hooded figure, male, masculine. Smoking a pipe as well.
I don't have an intro for that.
You should go and smoke pipe with him. There you go. That's your in.
Do you have a light? Is that what I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, why not?
You sit down next to them, next to the fire. And as they do, enough light comes from the pipe to show their face, and they say, "What's your business, stranger?"
Oh, just back from a quest. Just thought I'd come over here and ask if you had a light. It's been a rough day.
They
It's raining
bring
out
their
there.
hood down, throw back their hair. In the process, you see that they are a beautiful elven man with pale skin, so pale you think the light of day may have never touched it, but with silky corn silken hair, beautiful waves. He does the toss, and like the whole thing, like ponytail flutters
L'Oreal
behind
Paris
him.
commercial.
I mean, it's 100% elven, high elven bullshit for sure. And then he reaches into his cloak and gets out a little. You think it's a magical fire starter? He just like clicks it and gets it near your pipe, and
It's like
the first flame of it is very fanciful and large, but you get no heat off of it. And he says, "What's your name, stranger?"
Teneria.
Teneria. I'm called Walker, but I am known by many names in many lands.
It's a pleasure to meet you. What are you doing in these parts?
I'm a brewer by trade.
Oh, alcohol. Do you set up shop around here or travel around?
I do not rest in any one area for long. It is my curse.
You wouldn't happen to have a sample that I could try?
Wait here. Stands up. He goes back to his room, ostensibly, and comes back.
Yes.
Did you see that, man?
Yes, I saw him.
He's going to get me a drink.
Oh. What happens after he gets you a drink?
I don't know. I hope it's delicious, though.
Oh, well, do
you know him?
You're asking if all elves know each other?
I don't see too many elves, so what would I know?
No, if I did, I think I would have already...
You should introduce yourself.
No. You want me to introduce myself to the corn silken haired brewer that I've been hearing you speak? Well, upon the return, perhaps. I mean, elves and elves, at least there's something in common to start with.
Exactly. Maybe you could sing a little song.
I don't know.
I'm like 2 beers in at this point.
Maybe he'll like my boots. I don't know.
Maybe. You
So,
never know.
he comes
beautiful.
back. He's not bringing like a cup or a mug or anything. He brings on a full-on mini keg that hasn't been tapped yet.
This guy knows what's up.
He sets it down, he taps it real quick, and then pours for you and him. And then looks around the rest of the bar and pours for Corin and his companion, anybody else who wants any.
I saunter up to the side and salute Tar in Elven, greeting him. Salutations.
He tosses back like a loose bang and says, "Long has it been since I have been graced with my elven tongue." And he introduces himself as Long Walker, Brewmaster of Ancient Lands. And then he introduces the mini keg of beer to you and says, "I have crafted," again, all in Elvish. Anyone who doesn't speak Elvish has no idea what he's saying. But it is like very fluty, high Elven that he is speaking.
Sounds wonderful.
500 years ago, I crafted this wood and have preserved it through magic. In this keg now, I sustain a Eastern Imperial Stout brew, a micro brew craft that I have made myself. I travel to the south now, looking for new seeds, new stouts, and new brews. A rich hops field I seek, so that while I may rest for a time, perhaps I may craft a new beer for a new age. The age of the rise of dragons once again. Enjoy. It's good.
Oh,
That is good.
yes, wondrous, wondrous. I am Guineria Lassul, the Placid of the Canid Star. And it is wonderful to meet you.
Star, yes.
Although,
I have met your parents once when they were younger.
oh, yes. Well, I have not heard from them in a while. I must see to that, I'm sure. I worry so.
We all are greatly appreciative of your generous donation to the people in this tavern.
Money means nothing to me.
Wow.
Long has it been since the affairs of the mortal realm have furrowed my brow. Come, have another drink, companion, and perhaps have some of my fine fairy wheat.
I love this guy.
I think I'll leave you to it.
Are you
I'll definitely
wing-banging
pack.
right now? Jesus. All right, Tanira, listen, let me ask, what's happening here? Are you best friends now, or is this like companionship?
Who, between me and Guineria?
No, between you and Walker.
Walker.
I'm
Long
getting
Walker
some
the Brewmaster.
free booze. Let's
All right,
go.
if you're looking to get free booze, Walker is definitely looking to get drunk. Yeah, I mean, you wake up the next morning, you're still in Navish's bar. You have passed out next to Walker, who has gotten 2 more mini kegs, and you guys just drank all night. You have no recollection of anything after Guineria left. For the rest of you, unless you want to get involved, Goneria and Walker get into a drinking contest. Walker appears to be bringing out incredibly expensive mini kegs and letting anybody who wants to get some drinks out of it.
I love this town.
Yeah, this guy is an alcoholic for sure. There's also an undercurrent of sorrow to everything he says, but also arrogant pompousness. You did also briefly catch, Guineria, that he said that he crafted that keg 500 years ago by himself.
Yes,
so.
he is.
All I heard was he magicked some wood, and I was very interested.
He's much, much older than any elf should have the right to live.
I think throughout the drinking competition, Godric was bringing Tanira his like chef's cookies that he makes that gives her temporary hit points.
Yes.
She's gonna need them when she wakes up.
Cookies. I'm definitely checking all my pouches when I wake up.
I was just trying to give you an edge for the drinking contest.
You will not defeat him in a drinking
I'll
contest.
never say no to a cookie.
I simply perform in the background. I sing an elvish song.
I want our town to be like this town. This town is so much fun.
You have a town, companion.
Yes, we just moved there. It's a big dragony building for dragons.
It is said, across all the land, whispers from the far and near. The age of dragons has resurged once again.
Yes. We've defeated a couple of them. We've defeated them.
That one over there?
No, that one's our friend. We
That's your
like
friend?
him. Yes.
You are friends with dragons.
Oh, yes, yeah. He's a good bean.
I remember once young elf setting out on a quest to tame the dragons, and instead they tamed him.
Whoa. You've been around for like a long time.
Indeed.
That's
An age of the world has passed. I remember when the calendar was new.
Wow. When was that?
That's 842, so...
She's trying to do like trigonometry in the sky right now.
835, yeah. He basically implies that he's over 835 years old. While also, just like, does a quick cake stand real quick.
I'll hold his legs up.
He doesn't need it. He's just doing
it by himself.
Tuned athlete. He does not need any. He does it one-handed.
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna try to do it after him, but like two-handed because I'm not
Absolutely.
that good.
Make a athletics check.
Yes.
At disadvantage because you're drunk.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely gonna use my inspiration.
Can I give you bardic inspiration?
No, if you want to.
Yes, I give you. I sing particularly in your direction, and I give you bardic inspiration. Roll an extra d8.
Yeah. So you said you use your inspiration to cancel out the disadvantage. So you got you got 18 plus 1 plus whatever you get on this bardic inspiration.
Roll 1d8.
I assume that you're just strumming on a lute and going chug, chug, chug.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I'll go one-handed at this point.
27. You actually beat him at the cake stand for sure.
Fuck yeah.
He is impressed, and he dramatically falls back into his seat and says, "Alas, it has been the turning of many moons since I have been defeated at my chosen sport of cake stand, which is a much fairer name in the Elvish language, for we are the ones who invented wine and winery with the aid of the gods." We're pretty close to taking the last break here, actually.
Yeah. Let's do it.
We're at,
That's a good segue.
Okay.
Yeah, I just noticed the clock.
Yeah, we're at 55 minutes.
It's the end of
so
the night,
it's good time.
and I don't remember.
We'll pick up with the next morning with Tanira and
My
Walker
massive
both
hangover.
drunk still, and everybody else asleep in your rooms. I'll see you for the final part. So when we come back, it's subtitles because Tanira does not understand what Walker is saying, but
I'm just super enthralled.
really poetic high elven rhyming couplets, which are not rhyming couplets in neither common nor the English language we are currently speaking, but it is rhyming couplets in High Elven. He says, he like almost pseudo brushes your cheek while both of you are waking up, and he says, "Fair lady, too long has it been since the errant light of dawn has fallen upon your face, the face of any of my drinking companions. I trust that nothing has happened between us, because I drank myself, as I always do, into a stupor every night. My curse may drive me from, indeed, my sanity, or blessedly my memories, but it will not rob me of the reason in the morning. I am, however, High Elven, so I have no hangover."
Once he starts to brush his hand across my face, I'm
No,
like,
he
that's
never
not
actually touches you.
okay.
Never touches you.
Okay.
It's one of those. It's what do they do at cons? The hover hand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like no,
No,
that's
he doesn't
not
touch you.
happening.
Absolutely
I know,
not.
but I'm just
It's
still
like the Bollywood almost kiss.
Yeah, almost
Yeah.
gets hit. But just a hand. And then he composes himself instantly, stands up, takes his 3 kegs, leaves after tossing a silver to Mistress Navish's tip jar.
wonderful to meet you.
The rest of you wake up in your rooms, having gone to sleep at a reasonable place at a reasonable hour.
All right. It sounds like it's breakfast time.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they're up already, I'm like, oh, it's breakfast time. Let's do this. I need some greasy food.
Are you helping Mistress Navish make greasy food?
If she wants to help, I'm not a good cook.
I was talking about Godric.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She was just gonna make
This
the
is-
normal like morning oats, but yeah, if you're here, she will. You guys prepaid. You're good customers, and you when you convinced Walker to share in wine that her customers drank for free, and she got tips for it. So she's giving you guys a little leeway. She'll do like chicken eggs and what do you got? What's in your pocket?
I wanted to try to make like a chicken fried chicken with
Fried chicken.
yeah.
Hey, are you from the
Tanira's
South?
like,
The American
yes.
South?
Yeah, I lived in North Carolina.
I
for
couldn't
most of my
tell.
life.
Chicken fried chicken, huh?
So the good news is that because
chicken
because you can
fried
use meat-
chicken, gravy, and like biscuits.
because you can
Gravy
use
and
meat as
biscuits?
a-
You
as a-
from the American
yeah.
South?
Because you can use meat as a seasoning, you can pull out meat from your bag. Then I guess.
That's not how that works. He's gonna be pulling a lot of fucking peppercorn out of his seasoning bag.
I'm just saying, go to Golden Corral. That's
Oh
Not
my
Golden Corral.
god,
Cracker
Jesus!
Barrel.
I really
Cracker
prefer
Barrel.
not
That's the
to.
best.
Never again.
Oh, sorry, no, Cracker Barrel.
Okay, Cracker Barrel. I'm partly in, partly in. They
Okay.
they offer food that I can tolerate and taste. Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Canada, what?
The Golden Corral it's a American style buffet that offers the saddest steaks you've ever seen. People go there and they think that you're gonna get like lots and lots of steak, and you will get lots of steak, but it will be the saddest steak you've ever seen. And somehow the ice cream machine always looks funky because the kids go up and play with it. And they do that thing where they smash their cone up, and then the ice cream's like pouring everywhere, and then the machine. It's a mess.
It's like a Southern Red Lobster.
Yeah, I'm not trying. Well, listen, Red Lobster is 2 tiers above Golden Corral.
It's a
at
really
least.
bad Southern Red Lobster.
Listen, Chad is right. Golden Corral is the official home of food. I just want to be really clear. I'm not trying to shit on Golden Corral too much, but we need to recognize that it is like the lowest level of franchise restaurant that you can get that's not fast food.
They won't be sponsoring this show anytime
Absolutely
in the
not.
future.
I wouldn't want them to either.
No, we're gonna deny that.
Again, I've been to Golden Corrals. There was a point in my life where I subsisted myself on Golden Corrals, but it should be noted, they are what they are.
Yes.
And you are not making Golden Corral level food here. You got
sorry.
that Cracker Barrel
Cracker
level
Barrel.
stuff.
Yes.
I definitely think that I could find a Cracker Barrel that would offer chicken fried chicken. It would be somewhere in the South for sure, though. It would not be in Delaware
That
or
used to
Jersey.
be all I would order from Cracker Barrel whenever I would go for breakfast.
Yep. I
Chicken
mean,
fried
biscuits and
chicken.
gravy for sure. Absolutely. Any Cracker Barrel in the country.
I'm all about that right now.
Yep.
My mouth is salivating.
She still makes she's doing something that oats right, so she probably just makes cheesy grits. as well, just to get you some more grease in there.
Has
Cheesy
have
grits, are you
got,
from the south?
has our guide returned?
Yeah, no, he was actually there. I feel like we reverse and we digitally Iron Man print him into the background of the Spider-Man flashbacks. Yeah, he was there the whole time. I mean, Korik said he would be here for you when you needed him. So yeah.
Hey, is there any sort of educational institute, university, or something in this town? Like, where would we go to find smarter people?
To find smarter people. I think most people that can read and write work for the governors. So probably the North Wall complex.
Mm-hmm.
But if we were to go there to try and hire somebody, that would probably be untoward
Maybe
to try
the
and...
temple has some educated scholars and sages there who might be available.
What is the temple here to?
Oh, there are several of the well, of course, all of the official imperial gods can be worshipped at the temple. You know, as long as you praise the emperor, you're accepted inside the empire. He does it, and he does the kiss towards the statue of the emperor that you know is built into the side of the mountain. You know, like instinctively towards that. Yeah, there's. I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. The orcs killed their gods a couple thousand years ago, but we still respect them, so we have a shrine here to them, and that is officially the nameless dead gods of the orcs are what is worshipped in Orishban. But if you go into the temple, you might not be able to find a priest of a specific imperial god, but all of the gods of the empire that are recognized will answer to any blessings or offerings you wish to receive or offer. I mean, that's what again, I'm not a priest, but that's, you know, what they tell me to tell people, so.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
When after breakfast, I wouldn't mind going there, depending on what my companions want to do.
Of course. I'll make sure.
I'll accompany you. That's fine.
My first thing is going to be to head to the Hunters Guild.
The Mercenaries Guild.
Mercenaries Guild, yeah.
Yeah, I'll draw you a map so you can catch up with us. I'm going to take you guys into the rectory rather than send you through, you know, we'll go talk to a priest directly rather than go through a lot of religious stuff. You all, and then he like looks at you, he was about to say you don't look very religious, but then he sees you have two holy symbols on you. I mean, we can go through the full Monty if you...
No, that's fine. The rectory's fine.
We'll just go to the rectory. Yeah, I know.
You can catch me at the bathhouse.
Okay, so it's Gwyneria and Kithrix to the rectory then. I actually want to follow ya boy to the Mercenaries Guild.
I was going to say go with them because I want to do. There's somewhere else I wanted to try and stop afterwards.
Oh, okay. So you're okay. The three of you are going to the rectory first, then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you arrive there. I mean, again, you guys get up. The whole rest of the town has been up for a while at this point. You know, the locals all seem to know Korik, and he sits down with somebody, and they have a quiet conversation. And you know, he just says, well, "My friends are looking to hire somebody. I'm not really sure for what, but you know, they're mercenaries. I think they might be adventurers." And he says something really quietly in Orcish, and the priest nods and stands up and approaches you. They have a holy symbol, but their holy symbol is just a chain. And the chain is like affixed to itself, and it looks like something should hang off of it, but nothing is there. It's a tall man. Again, it's a orc with a darker green brown complexion that you know is called black orcs around here, although they are, again, not literally black. Big under fang, whatever you call them, tusks.
Yeah.
Squat nose, kind of wide head, hair is pulled back into a set of dreadlocks. Definitely seems like a very heavy, not like obese, but like heavy set, strong person who approaches you, and a deep voice just says, "I understand you are looking to hire someone for work. What services can we perform for you?"
So we recently bought an old keep about 10 days south of here, and we have cleared it out and we're doing it up, and we have some help from the elves and the dwarves, and we're going to get this into a functioning place again, and we're looking to hire somebody who can help us manage the sort of day-to-day financial affairs, making sure that, logistics are filled, food is ordered, eventually taxes are collected.
You're looking for clerical work.
Yes.
Of a different sort.
But not that kind of clerical. That's right, yes.
Yes. I mean, he outrightly notices that 2 of you have holy symbols. He's just making a joke.
Yeah.
Your castle steward, just some sort of cleric?
Look, we're not hung up on the title. Like, if someone wants to be, like, chief ambassador of whatever, we can negotiate that. It's just
less than title. What I'm looking for is what level of service are you expecting this person? A castellan would be a form of confidant who would be expected to stay for a very long time and would understand all of the workings and be privy to future decisions. A clerk would be someone who would merely tally paperwork for you and would not be so intimately involved and is more replaceable. For instance, what level of competency, permanency are you looking for?
I believe we were looking for someone to advocate for us while we're away, right?
Well, I mean, but that being said, we're not exactly experienced in these matters either. So, I think that we need someone who can advise us. Even if we're there to make critical decisions, we need someone that can tell us, like, if you do this, it's going to mean blah. Like, otherwise, we're just fumbling in the dark, as far as I know. Unless you've got experience with managing an estate or a household.
I do not, but...
I was talking to Godric, sorry.
You've certainly come to an interesting place to ask. I can put the call out through the priesthood of Zenavir and of course the entire empire to see if there are candidates. There's none here in Orshban who meet what you're looking for, but I hardly think that what you're asking for is unavailable. Probably there would be quite a price to pay for both their transportation and their services. You could be looking at 30, 40 gold a month.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. Could you see if you could put out that ad? Oh, and at the bottom, put must like dragons.
Must like dragons.
Yeah, I'll indicate towards Sparky.
All dragons?
Well, I mean, just like we have. This is Sparky. Sparky, I didn't get your name. Sorry.
Mine. Are you asking the dragon its name?
No. I was going to introduce you to the dragon, but I realized we didn't get your name yet.
Ah, my name is Emmons.
Okay, Sparky. This is Emmons, a priest of
the nameless gods of the people of Zenavir.
I suppose Sparky does some sort of,
You could say that he was going to say something other than Zenavir before he looked around the room, saw that there were other people here, and then said Zenavir.
Okay. So we're building a dragon hold. We are
a dragon hold. 10 days south. You were talking about Bray Lock.
Yes.
My understanding was that belonged to Baron Petrosia and is passed into your hands legally?
Oh, yes. Paperwork, yes.
Were you considering allying yourself with the Empire?
We have a standing invitation from the Emperor to attend the capital at some point to have a conversation. I don't know what about. I didn't get whether it was urgent. I didn't think it was urgent, which is why we haven't gone there yet.
See. I will take this information and we'll have another longer conversation between us. This isn't nearly enough information. It doesn't all need to be on camera.
We were working with the Sky Knights, though. They're the Empire too. So we have, I am a petty officer 3rd class in the Imperial Sky Knights.
Ah, that makes things much easier. It would not be unreasonable for an Imperial citizen to serve you then. I will spread word throughout the Empire. We will see who answers. I I'm afraid that people do not know you, but they do know me, so I will be the recipient of any sending spells. I would need to ask for a commission payment and permission to act as your agent in this matter.
Certainly. What would that look like?
A gold piece would be more than enough.
Certainly. All right. I fumble and play the gold piece and
Go. So yeah, he just says, "Go with my blessings, for there are none who would say otherwise."
Thank you.
How long will you remain in town? Should I be sending letters south to you call it Dragon Hole?
Yes, so we called it that was our keep name, wasn't it? The Dragon Hole.
Well, you told him Dragon Hole, so
yeah.
he's just
I'm just double checking that we did actually that was the name we chose for it too.
Yes.
Yeah, the Dragon Hole. So we'll be in town about another 8 days, but then we'll be heading back at least in the short term.
Even if someone were to accept in the next 8 days, they would surely not arrive before then, without use of a teleportation spell. So, I suspect it will be an affair of some time before they arrive, but I will get word out after a quick prayer to learn the sending spell for the day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I hope that you are equally blessed on your journeys today. He raises his hand, and you all get guidance.
Oh,
Don't nod your head, Bearded. You're not even here. You're at the back.
I know.
That's
Good on
okay.
them, man. I'm chilling, dude. I'm getting my soak on. You know, they're getting their guidance on. Everything's good.
But it lasts for 1 minute, though, so quickly go school roll. Go and busk.
You go outside and do a cartwheel real quick. Athletics. Godric, heading to...
Yes. I want to do the Mercenaries Hall, and then I wanted to stop by like a local post office. Postmaster, find someone like that.
Are you looking for an Imperial courier for further into the Empire? Or are you looking for someone who will travel to lands beyond?
I don't think Mechanicsburg was part of the Empire or had
Mechanicsburg is a
on top.
colony technically. There is a Imperial Sky Knight colony on the top of it. So if you want to send something to there, an Imperial courier will reach them.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I just wanted to send a letter to Mechanicsburg on like where to reach us and forward mail.
Okay.
To Braylock.
Last known location.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. You're not an Imperial citizen. Kithrix is not with you. They will charge you 2 gold pieces for this, but it will be done at their earliest ability to get there. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
They're not like, we'll get there in 2 days. They're like, we'll make sure this gets out on an airship.
Gotcha.
Sorry, they'd say skyship. You do get 350 gold pieces. There's no trickery or bamboozery or APGamingREAL fucks you over.
I don't suddenly become cursed.
It's a new attendant today. They have a name tag that just says the letter C on it. Again, you're not exactly in the exact morning, but you're still later in the morning, and there's no one in here. Everyone either already has a job and no one's drinking. But everyone's awake.
Okay.
They do offer you once again a list of jobs if you're looking to take a new one, and they will give, if you want to leave the 100 gold with them, they will get it to the recipient, to Corin's cousin family.
Okay.
Because he was registered here as an adventurer.
Is Gwyneria and Kithrix with me?
I would be there, yes.
Okay. If they're with me, I figure we can peruse the jobs that are still there because we still have like 7 more days in at least
7 days
city?
and then another 3 minimum.
Yes. 10
Right.
days.
So we have 10 more days here. Let's see what jobs they're offering.
So there are 3 jobs that are within your range. Like you could go for another herb job if you wanted to, but they're not listing it because you have a steel band.
Yeah.
The governors of Orishban would like so jobs here are given to individuals, but this job specifically is looking for a group. They also use the terminology party in quotation marks, perhaps sardonically, to help as part of a military exercise to act as a opposition force, mimicking unique unit tactics for small ambush encounters on the southern roads.
Okay.
A baron, unnamed, seeking a duelist champion, 300 gold piece. 3,000 gold pieces. And this one specifically specifies they're paying in non-imperial script. They're paying in real gold. And then a third job that says clear out my clerical unin tower, UNINTOWER, for 11,000 gold pieces paid in electrum.
Interesting.
Just to be clear, it doesn't say
Alright.
electrum coin. It says in electrum, which you're not really sure if they're just going to hand you a giant block of gold silver alloy or not.
Right. I want to ask the group there. They feel like there's any job they're feeling particular about. I mean, I could absolutely do the dueling job, but
No.
I mean,
don't.
if I did the dueling job, I could get the $3,000, and then we could just dump that into the keep and
Yeah.
get the walls done too.
You'd have 1,000 left over too.
Well, what about clearing the tower?
Or whatever that word is. It ends in tower, but I don't know if that's the same. Assuming it's a tower.
What,
Roll a
what
history
was the
check.
word for the tower?
Unin tower?
Roll what? Sorry.
History.
Can I ask the bathhouse attendant if there's a orphanage in town?
There is. Yeah.
I'm gonna hit that up.
Oh, look at that.
18. So Unin Tower it's traditionally associated with wizards who don't want to build towers up. It means underground inverted tower.
That's what I thought.
But it is a archaic historical term. You know, it would be like referring to Gloucester as the Castle of Glouse. You know what I mean? Right? Like no one's called it an Unin Tower since like 1,000 years ago. So you're not really you're like,
Sus.
this is really weird. Like, whatever it is, it must be quite old.
Yeah, I heard onion tower first, and I thought you were saying something about minarets.
The onion tower.
Well, I mean, we could at least inquire clear it out of what? Of dust? Easy job. Of dragons? Not quite so easy.
Yeah,
Find
just
more
let's
about
clear
that.
it out. Who knows what could exist inside an old wizard's tower?
Exactly. The wonders we could find, the history, the magic.
Gold.
But I think that all that stuff will belong to the person who's asking us to clear it out for them, though. It's probably
James,
just
once again, seeing through.
The deception. We're not getting anything.
I mean, you're getting $11,000.
gold.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think of the no risk, no reward.
How much was the military job for?
1,000 in Imperial script.
Script.
Script we'd have to spend on supplies here and bring
Yeah,
back.
I would have to spend it here.
We should be like a money, people bring us gold, we give them script kind of thing. So we would have all the gold, and then Sparky would be huge.
They want it the other way around, though. People would bring you script and you give them gold. And then
But then we
you
would
launder
have
it
less gold.
here. That would be the efficient
But
way
then-
of doing it. People don't want the script. That's the thing.
True.
We can't launder it without a business, though.
Yeah.
We gotta keep it kosher.
I mean, Lauren did say she wanted Gwyneria to make an establishment, and establishments can explicitly use to create a money laundering operation.
Okay, so we've got our placement then. So then we just need.
So
If you guys want to
should we just take the duel,
illegally
or should we?
launder Imperial script into gold under the table, that's
Not
going to
with
be a
an Imperial-
conversation for way later in the season. But that's
especially when we're about to hire an Imperial,
an
But
Imperial
do we just
person.
sage.
Just start clipping. Just start like scraping off like the
Oh
very
my
edge of
God.
gold coins.
Oh.
What is this?
That's
Fast and Furious
Cos's
Tokyo
belly.
Drift?
You're literally, it's not even going to be, they send assassins. They're just going to send an Imperial squadron over
Yeah,
here.
just trying to clear us out, dude.
Clipping. Jesus.
What was this attendant's name? You said it was P or C?
No, C. This is C
C.
today. It's
Yeah.
a
Okay,
young
C.
human woman with a C.
Okay. I'm going to ask her what she can tell me about this this tower job, if she has any more information on it.
I believe that I mean, I can't share much without you meeting with the client. It's not necessary for you to accept the job to meet with the client if you're interested. What I can tell you is that the job is secular and non-secular in nature. That the client location is a religious organization which has recently suffered a outside invasion, and the owner of that location wishes a expedition to retake it. They have no viable means to do this themselves and would prefer the Mercenary Guild organize such an expedition to reclaim what is their rightful property and lands. It should be noted that the contract will include stipulations. You're not allowed to remove anything, including any monster parts, blood, the belongings of anything in there will all be claimant to the owner, not to you, and that you will be instead paid in full in a massive block of Electrum.
Okay.
That's what I can tell you without meeting with the client. Are you interested? Would you like me to arrange for such a meeting?
Yeah, I don't think there's any harm in meeting the client.
Yeah.
Okay, I will inform them. Just wait here one moment, and they begin whispering. And some magical shit happens as they're whispering.
Can I use Arcana to see what magical shit
absolutely.
they're doing? Oh,
Yep.
okay. Oh, 1, but that's a 10. But it's a 1.
Still a 1.
There's
Oh.
magic happening.
I'm not familiar with that style of magic. Oh.
She says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm using." She points to her ring. I'm using a ring of sending. It's
A
provided
ring of
to
sending. Oh, fantastic.
all the front
Something I
desk
could
clerks. Yes, the client has told me that they are willing to meet you in 3 hours. They will. We have a room prepared in the back. Confidentiality is assured for the client. If you would like, we can also use magic to obscure your features as well. Food and drink will be provided. Do you have any dietary restrictions or
Well, can I look
preferences?
tall?
Yes, we could make that happen.
That's all right. I'm fine. I don't want to create unrealistic expectations. That's fine. I'll stay short.
Okay.
I think we'll be fine to meet them in about 3 hours. And then I look at Gwyneria and Kithric and say, I think we need to find Tanira.
Yes.
Since we're going to the bathhouse.
All right, beach episode. We're doing it. We're going. No one here watched this show, but my Cancel show constantly had meetings in bathhouses. Pretty much like 1 to 2 every episode. You catch Tanira outside the bathhouse, smelling vaguely of olive oil and lavender.
So how'd it go?
Combination.
We've got a lead on a high-paying job. Just to see how they
Wonderful.
We've got to meet the client first.
All right. Where are we meeting them? We're just gonna
Back to
pick up a few
Mercenaries.
things in town.
Back at the
Okay.
Mercenaries Hall.
Perfect.
Yes. So be at the Mercenaries Hall by the time the sun reaches, and I hold up 1, 2, 3 fingers, so 12 fingers worth of travel. You must be there.
Perfect. I'll do that. I just need to grab a couple things and I'll meet you guys there.
All right then.
You're heading to the orphanage?
Yeah.
It surprises you how dwarven the orphanage is here. It almost 1-for-1 reminds you of the one in Mechanicsburg. It is built near the northern entrance area, right across from the open community area, so that the kids can come out and play and be occupied during the daytime with people nearby who can watch over them, near guards and such, trustworthy folk. It is built directly into the stone. and there are several caretakers. It doesn't look like any like the one you had in Mechanicsburg. It was a priest running it, but this seems to be a official government institution. There aren't like a ton of orphans. There's only like 5 or 6, but it looks like there's 2 employees keeping watch. Both of them wear burgundy robes that have a lightning bolt in the middle of them. And they see you approaching and they say, hello. Sorry, can we help you?
Hello, good day to you. I know this is going to be a strange conversation, but I would like to donate some gold to your orphanage if that's
not that unusual.
No?
We welcome it.
Okay.
The woman turns to her male companion. He goes, yeah, it's not that weird. I'm going to be honest with you. Most of our conversations are either about adopting a kid did something wrong, or someone wants to give us money. So that you're one of the 3.
Oh. Well, wonderful.
So the woman like goes to clasp your hand, just like, thank you so much. How much can you give?
I'm going to give them 100 gold pieces.
Okay. I mean, just to be clear, that's a enormous amount of money, and will allow them to run this orphanage for several months. The woman pulls you into, like, she takes the thing, like, your hand and her hand, pulls you in for a hug. The orphanage is bad news? Jesus, whoa.
Damn, what? The chat thinks there's some shady stuff going on in here because it's all nice.
So the man says, I'm going to be honest with you. We've been doing this for a long time. When we see someone make a donation like this, they want one of 2 things. Either you are very wealthy and you would like a tax write-off, which we can provide to you, of course, or you are looking to absolve yourself of some crime. I can summon a priest here if you would like to make a confession.
I'm none of those.
Okay, all right. I didn't mean to pry.
No, it's quite all right. I've lost a child in the past. We've my late husband and I adopted one, and I just like to give back to the community. Also, I happen to come into a large property, and in the future, if there are any children that are, unadoptable or old enough that they would like to try their hand at a craft, we are slowly getting the town available to such an endeavor. So
the woman says, I don't mean to be argumentative, but we don't use the word unadoptable around here. There is a parentage for every kid, and it's just up to us to find them, or for that parent to find them. But if not, we are here to provide for them on behalf of the Empire. I will say that there are some requirements to enter into this orphanage. Children who are not Imperial citizens, of course, may have quite some time, especially as an orphan. It's going to be very difficult to prove that. So you're saying you are the purveyor of an orphanage that you are setting up yourself in the South?
I'm basically trying to set up a town of carpenters and people who worked with their hands. Or
sorry, are you a merchant or a lord? You're setting up a town?
A lord.
A lord. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, I apologize, my lady. I did not recognize you.
No worries. No worries. I'm new to town. We just set up a shop in Dragonhold.
She doesn't recognize what that is, but over the next few days, stories will.
But yes,
percolate.
It's not quite complete. But if we could, in the future, collaborate on some type of work program,
you know where to find us, and
yes, of course,
stay in contact.
Yes, thank you so much.
Go with the blessing of the Emperor.
Thank you, and I'll just dip out.
Okay. Just to be clear, I didn't do the evil handshake. I didn't do the double hands. I did one hand brings it in for the back hug. That's good. That's good guy stuff. Best friend is the predator man shake, of course.
Yeah. Insight check.
Do you want to make an insight check on that?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
I'll make one on every time I go there, just because I can.
They seem trustworthy.
Okay. For now. Yeah, I'll meet up with the rest of the group.
Okay.
If they're not already doing stuff.
I think we got enough time to do this conversation. Getting close. About 3 hours later, you all find yourself in the Mercenaries Guild. They lead you behind the desk where you definitely see what appear to be very illegal weapons and poisons and other banned substances underneath the bar.
Nice. You just saved me a level. You just saved me a level of rogue, Arthur.
You head back into, like, there's a series of rooms. It looks like they use either a language none of you speak or some form of encryption to indicate what room is which. They open the door and let you go in, and inside is a figure who is like cloaked in illusory shadow. There's like a 5-course banquet set out for you here, including both a like light fruit appetizer and a dessert.
Going for the dessert.
Okay. There's also a bottle and 5 glasses poured, and then a small saucer dish of wine.
Oh, it's for Sparky.
Yeah. Sparky will definitely go for the wine glass at your seat.
All right, let's sit down and wait for our host.
Just had a bath, so I'll just go for the dessert.
Oh, I pick up the glass and, swirl it and sip and enjoy. And
The person's
Busy.
voice sounds like the standard TikTok computer AI generated narrator voice. The vaguely Britishish one. Yeah. So, I mean, I can't do it myself, but just imagine that's what's happening as they say. So
The one that like reads out emojis.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hello
they're
there,
hiding-
smiley face.
Smiley face.
They're hiding
Smiley
themselves
face.
from us.
Smiley face. Underscore smiley face.
So, you are interested in accepting my offer?
We'll see. Depends on how this conversation goes.
I wanted to get a measure of you. According to your record, you've only taken small-time jobs. But I heard a report that someone matching your description was involved in a dragon attack. That leaves me interested.
you make it seem like we were the dragons doing the attacking.
Yeah, that was us. We fed the green dragon since everyone else is being so obtuse about it.
Yep.
I have a location. I am a priest of a god that does not need to be named. When you travel to this location, you may see some things. You will not speak of this location. You will not speak of what you see inside. And you will forget this job ever happened when it is done. You will be paid handsomely in accordance with your silence and your forgetfulness.
Can you tell us anything about what we're supposed to be clearing out so we know what we're up against?
It is a multi-level facility designed for training young adults and youths in certain practical arts that my god demands of its followers. A heretic of my flock who had divine power blasphemed and summoned something, a force that is a antithesis to my god, in order to bring the temple down.
Doesn't exactly tell us what we're up against.
If you'd like to sign the contract, I can tell you more. So long as this conversation is generalities, this is all I can share.
Well, we can discuss some generalities. Is it a being, a singular force, or is it minions of a force?
I believe that the heretic is awaiting in my chambers at the bottom. This force will have several members in its composition, and more individuals may have been summoned into their service, either through magical or simply by walking in means.
And would you need this heretic eliminated?
I fear that the location could not be cleared out until their death was assured.
So that's a yes.
Mhm.
A
Do you
moment,
mind
if
if-
you please.
Yes. Do you mind if we step out quickly to have a private conversation?
So they just like touch something on the table, and like a wall of force separates the two of you, and now you can't hear anything going on their side. There's like a thin orange, almost like Phantom Menace episode 1, the like reactor shields between you, but with a light orange tinge.
Can we still see? We can still see each other, yeah.
Yeah, to some extent, it's a little blurry.
Okay. When I talk like this to avoid like lip reading. Given that I can read lips myself, so as in
At that
Kistrix,
point,
not
the
me.
person just takes their chair and turns around.
I don't know about this, guys. Like, we don't know anything about this. We're committing to doing something we can't talk about, but there's a reason. There's got to be a reason for that.
Yeah, I mean, what if
Involves-
we sign it and we figure out that we can't accomplish what he needs us to do? We've already signed it.
Or more so that we can, but he's a bad guy. I mean, he says something about training children.
Yeah, I don't support training child soldiers.
Well, they said young adults and youth. It could mean children, or it could just mean teenagers. Like late teenage adults.
I mean, are we talking Boy Scouts or are we talking Nazi youth here? What's the difference?
We don't know.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable with anything that we're not supposed to talk about after the fact. My whole reason is to collect stories and songs and share them and spread them, not to obfuscate our deeds.
How much was the job paying again?
11,000 gold
11,000?
in Electrum.
in a block of Electrum. I want to make something clear though, Chinera. You're concerned that they're giving you a job that couldn't be accomplished.
Yeah.
You were just inducted in the Mercenary Guild, but they basically told you up front, like, that doesn't happen.
Okay.
Like, if someone tried to trick you into doing a job part way that couldn't be finished, the Mercenary Guild would definitely get involved on your behalf. Like, you're contractors for them, and they're out here looking out for your best interest because you're how they get paid.
Okay. Well, then I also share the concerns.
I'll
of
be honest with you
everybody
guys. This job does sound sketchy, but this is, you
It's a
live a
huge
life
payday
where
for
you
us.
want to kill people for money, and
Yeah.
not every job you're gonna get, not every offer you're gonna get is gonna be a shining beacon, because shining beacons of purity tend to do it because it's the right thing to do, not because it pays well.
Yeah.
Right.
We can figure out. I mean, we have our morals, and we can figure it out at the end of it.
So what was the other offer we considered from the Mercenaries Guild?
There's the Duelist
5,000?
Championship and the Governor's military training. For your wishes.
So
3K for the duel, and then what was it, like $1,000 for the military
1,000
training?
in Imperial script for
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Governors.
that's a throwaway. So we're looking basically at the duelist or this job.
Yeah. I mean, like you're saying, like $1,000 isn't going to help us in the long run. That's
Yeah.
no.
it's kind of that's like a dent.
Yeah. I mean, if we're setting up to do what we have discussed, like 11,000 is going to go a long way into really setting us up for that town.
I mean, we're here for 10 more days, so if you want, we can pass on this job and take the duelist job, and then see what's available in a couple more days.
I mean, like as Cornelia said, like this goes against the whole Resendetra. So
That also being said, we have no guarantee that something that pays this well is going to come back.
Yeah. True.
all right. So are we happy to say thanks but no thanks?
I think we can say thanks, but no thanks.
For now.
Yeah.
Someone knocks on the wall force.
I'll do it.
They turn around, they press the button.
Thank you very much for your time, but at the end of the day, we've
They just say,
decided.
I understand, and they just get up and leave.
Okay.
We're not the first conversation
been rejected
like
before.
Yeah. 0% that they want to listen to any pleasantries.
That's it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Look, we reviewed lots of applications for jobs to do, and yours is very highly rated. But at this time, we're not going to be proceeding.
Look, you guys don't want to accept sketchy jobs, and they don't want to sit here and listen to people who don't want to accept sketchy jobs. You know what I mean?
What? We can't be.
I'm not
we can't
opposed to the
lecture them on
sketchy job.
morality.
You could, but they aren't here to listen to that. They have a job that they want done. They have a temple that they need cleared.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm not opposed to the occasional sketchy job. Like it kind of just comes with the territory, but not being able to talk about any of it and potentially training child soldiers is not something I want to support.
All right.
So
we should go back to the guild then and talk about the other job.
yeah,
Yes.
go back and take the duelist job.
When you arrive back, there's actually a new job available.
Oh.
Ooh.
Is it to
Your
go clear out
people
another?
wouldn't do my job.
Does it happen to also be 11,000?
No, it is to guard a very large convoy. It will be in town shortly. They sent a runner ahead. They were attacked several times on their way north, and they are looking to hire a significant armed force for their return south, past the Nolish tribe lands, to take them back to all the way to the capital of the Hobgoblin Kingdoms.
How large is a large force?
I mean, they're willing to pay 1,000 per person who signs on.
4,000.
So 4 of us, so 4K.
And they need it right now. When is the duelist
No,
job?
the caravan sent someone ahead. They won't be here for 2 more days.
Okay.
And then they're going to load up on Castle Forge steel before they head back south again. It will be a little bit of time.
Per person? Because we have a dragon in our party too.
You do have a dragon.
What if we do the duelist job now and then we hit up the convoy after we're done with that?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah, we could do that.
All right.
I think we're in agreement.
Okay, so you're accepting the job for a duelist champion?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. The attendant here.
Godric is accepting a job.
Yeah. We're like, yeah, go Godric.
The attendant here, C, sends you to the north wall so that you can talk with the client before both sides accept it.
Okay.
You'll be talking to a baron by the name of Cedric. That's
Right.
Sedrik. Sorry,
S-E-D.
Sorry, I have it here. Seedrik, Baron Cedric. Final scene. The 4 of you enter into the northern wall has a wood paneled interior that has like a stuffy sort of Victorian feel to it. The lights here are all like mage light rather than any sort of torch or oil light. So everything has that very steady light that we as users of electricity are used to, rather than like flickering. It has a very expensive, high-class, distinguished, regal feel. The kid who's behind the desk that you enter into is like a 13-year-old human child, wearing a extremely pompous military uniform with a sash and 2 epaulets, and he goes, "My goodness, thank the Emperor that someone accepted the job." And that's where we're going to end for today.
Yeah.
We'll find out more about Baron Cedric and what he needs a dueling champion for next time around.
Awesome.
Post-game thoughts?
It was fun.
That was a barrel of fun.
Yes.
I had so much fun today.
I love
a whole
I
tank's
love
worth of fun.
role-playing, storytelling, building things. That's great.
Yeah, and I feel like we got a little bit more out of a lot of the characters, backstories and like personalities for sure.
Mm.
Especially Godric cooking in the inn, and Guinevere.
And knowing what characters will do is important, but knowing what they won't do as well is also, I think, a big part of it.
Actually, I gotta dip out, guys. But thank you for the session.
Yep.
Folks at home, we will also dip out because once he leaves, everything falls apart on the overlay. Have a good night.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.